because we live, bitches!
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What's up, you sexy motherfuckers? What's up? It's Brian, back for another episode of the Horror Movie Club. The club where, what do? We talk about horror movies, of course. We always try to make sure that it's a movie that's not behind a paywall. So that way, while you're listening to us talk about the movie, if you think to yourself, damn, that sounds cool, I want to check that out. Guess what? There is a link below in the description that will take you to a 100% uncut version of the film, because your boy ain't gonna send you to an edited version of horror movie. Yeah, boy. So tonight's movie is 1983's Sleepaway Camp. I wasn't like a really big fan of the slasher genre when it was happening. I remember seeing Halloween in a theater, actually not on Halloween but on Devil's Night, like the night before. I actually got my mom was awesome this way. She took me and my best friend to go see that. And coming home and going upstairs, in the dark was a little challenging, shall we say. And so, of course, I loved that. But then we had the Friday the 13th, and we had all the fucking ripoffs and everything. And I was actually kind of like a horror snob when I was a kid. Now, I outgrew that, of course, right?
This is terrible. I can't help it.
What?
You were a horror snob.
I'm not a horror snob.
A horror
Fuck
snob.
you, bro. Fuck you. I am a horror connoisseur.
I mean it in the best way possible.
You cannot be into the kind of trash that I'm into and be a snob. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I like some fucking filth, dude. I like some sleaze.
Snob is a compliment. You should know this.
Oh, I know. I'm just busting your balls.
All right, I'm muting myself. I'm going to mute.
No, don't. First, introduce yourself. Who? Dave, what's up?
Oh, man, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I'm on my daylight shift where I can hang out with you guys at night. I miss you. I watched the movie while I was working in the next room. I've seen it before. It was the Joe Bob Biggs, when it was on Tubi. Man, do you learn a lot about a movie when you watch it?
Oh, he's the shit. He's the shit. That's my boy. And a man of the people, too. If you ever get a chance to meet that guy, meet him, talk to him, he's a fucking sweetheart.
See, that's what it seems like. And he had he had the girl that played Angela on while they did this movie.
Yes, Felisa Rose. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's a frequent guest now on his Shudder series.
Exactly. Yeah. It was so good. I was like, I'm going to watch it again anyways. It's like extra credit.
Yes, there you go. All right, let me also bring on my boy, your boy, Matt Burke. What is up, son? Are you rocking a 40 there? Is that a 40 dog I see?
Hell yeah, man. Gotta have a 40 every now and then, brother. Hell yeah, man.
Every now and again.
Every now and then. I haven't had a beer in a while. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, I remember drinking some piss back in the day.
Yeah,
New York City punk rock scene.
Totally.
Midnight Dragon. It wasn't like, because usually a 40 would set you back about like $250, right?
Yeah. $3, $3.50 now.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's not. Now the local swill is called a PBR.
Yeah, well, no, that's hipster beer. That's hipster beer.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
They have that
Still-
at
still
barbershops
swell.
now on tap.
Yeah. But Midnight Dragon, I remember, was the real fucking punk rock beer because that shit was not $2.50, not $2, $1.75 for a fucking 40.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm
So
good,
it's
though.
just a little extra gnarly.
Yeah.
And of course, we got to bring on my man, your man, Hart Fisher. What's up, brother, man?
What's up,
Good to
Hart
be on the
Fisher?
show, guys. I've been doing a lot of different kind of podcasting. It's nice to be on without having to like sell something.
Right. Well, this is the hangout stream. That's the way I've always seen it. Right. Like anybody that's in the DM group, when I drop that link, anybody that wants to come in is always free to come in, and just even if it's just to tell me like, motherfucker, you made me waste 90 minutes of my life watching that piece of
I
shit.
want my life back.
I'm actually kind of disappointed I've never gotten that.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, but some of the movies are 90 minutes of wasting. I mean, that's what they say to most Hollywood studios these days. I can't believe you made me waste 90 minutes of my life on that piece of shit.
More like 2.5 hours, dude. More
Yeah,
like 2.5
right.
hours.
Not only is it
That's
bad,
the average
it's
running time for a
long
movie
bad.
now.
You mean like that crappy Julia Roberts disaster film on Netflix that is nothing, that has every cliche of an end of the world film?
Oh, I
They
remember
have
that.
the yappy, unhappy woman. It's terrible. The ending it sucks. It's awful. Nobody waste your time with that on Netflix, folks. Don't bother.
Horrible.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It was produced by the Obamas. I had to
That's what I heard.
see if it was.
Was it really?
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Oh sure.
Jeez,
Oh,
that
which-
which is sort of
crappy
like-
propaganda.
It all makes sense once
Makes
you see
sense.
that. Once
Oh, I know the
You're-
movie you're talking about now. I know the right like, where there's
toss
like,
the world,
like a black family
toss the
house
world
or something.
aside, or kick the world to the curb, or something like that. The main
Or
thing
end
you
of the
need
world cash in, so we can put all our bullet points and our talking points from our crappy
Right.
politics in there,
Right.
and just
Yeah.
beat you over the head with it like a Spike Lee movie. Message.
Yeah, right. I know. Or like fucking Steven Spielberg, man.
And
You
honestly,
know,
I like Spike Lee. I
Even
guess
if
you
it's
gotta
a
get
good
that out.
movie, it's just like you get to that fucking ending, and he's just like, you know what? I don't think my audience is smart enough to really get this. So boom, 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 ham-fisted like a motherfucker, right?
That's that's why I like Chris Nolan movies. And
But even his movies always have a moment. They always have a scene. I talk about this way too much. Even Christopher Nolan's movies always have a scene where all the action stops so that the characters can explain to the audience what's happening in the movie.
Right.
That or the dying scene, in Shaun of the Dead. It's like, you know, those zombies would have ate you all while you're having your tearful goodbye over that corpse, right? Like, they didn't just stop. The bullets didn't just stop whizzing by.
Right.
You nailed it, Brian. I hate that cliche where the whole movie comes to an end so you can have your big emotional movie. Oh, look, mom's dying.
so you can have your human moment when none of us really like humans.
Well,
I like
if
it.
it's artificial, if it's artificial, it's agonizing, right? If it's saccharine, it's agonizing. When it's done well, when there's real heart there, when you actually do give a fuck, and when that sort of thing is done well, I'm perfectly fine with it. But it's just the ham-fistedness, you know, the lack of finesse that kind of bums me out, or at least makes me not want to, you know, sit through any mainstream shit.
It's like a missing stitch in a really good knit. Like I have a scarf that my sister made me, and there's one stitch that just and you see it. It's and I love her for making it for me, and it's really complicated and stuff. But it's like in that last MASH episode where the I can't remember the characters. It's a beautiful smile with a missing tooth.
Beautiful smile.
A beautiful smile with a missing tooth. That movie would have been great if you didn't have to put that thing that took my attention away from how great this movie is.
Well, look, yeah, and you know, then there's, you know, look, it's very rare that you get stuff that's perfect, but you're not looking for perfection, especially when you're a low budget horror movie.
When it was the 80s, we got it all the time, man. The Fly was perfect. The Thing was perfect. Running Scared was perfect. I remember perfect movies. Not perfect, but maybe it's because of how old you were when you saw it, but
right. I mean, there's certain things I even like for their flaws, like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead.
Have you guys noticed with horror that a lot of it depends on what you saw first? from being, in the business and running the American Horror channel, I found so much of your taste depends on, well, what did you see when you were little? What did you see with your dad? What did you see with your mom? And then if you never saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you had a different opinion of things. And so since I grew up watching all these horror movies, when I see the Evil Dead remake, I know every fucking horror movie they ripped off for that crappy, shitty, fucking horrible reboot. But the kids, the youngsters haven't seen all the films I've seen. So is it really important for me to piss on that film when they liked it? I mean, I'm not 23, so I'm not going to get the same thing out of it that they do. And that's something we got to realize. I had to realize that as a programmer for American Horrors. There is stuff on my television channel. That's right, American Horrors, AmericanHorrors.net, or on your Roku, or we are streamers on a budget.
I just bought a Roku. I need to know how to find that.
Give your shit all you like. That's all good. But tell me, Hart, I know this has fucking happened to you. How many times have you been having a conversation with like a millennial and you're talking about a movie, right? Like you bring up like Dawn of the Dead, right? And you're talking about, you're describing like a scene, right? And they're just kind of going, huh? I don't remember that. And then you have to stop the conversation and go, whoa, wait a second. Are we talking about the original or are we talking about the remake? Blink, blink, blink. You mean that's a remake?
I'll throw another one at you. They were probably on their phone most of the movie and missed the scene.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
They're on their phone.
You're saying that while somebody just texted me, and it was like really important. And I'm like,
hey man, look, it's difficult to live without you being welded to your phone these days. It's almost sort of fucking mandatory.
No, dude. No, I turn it off. I put it in another room. I get rid of it when I'm in post-production. I take it away when I'm recording voiceover. Like doing this, I'm not going to answer my fucking phone. I'm with you guys. I'm focused on this. This is important. The audience is taking time to hang out with us. So if you're on your phone during the horror movie with whoever, like I get into this with my girlfriend. My girlfriend is 22
I
years
know
younger
exactly what's coming. I'm married to one of these.
So my girlfriend's 22 years younger than me, and she gets caught up on, we call it the doom scroll. And you just scrolling and scrolling. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch. Well, could we watch the trailer? No, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And I'm on my phone. I'm not even paying it. I'm on my phone. And she's not whiny like that. I'm being a dick here. She's
right. We understand. We understand. Yeah. That's how it feels.
Doom scrolling, and so we finally arrived. We're finally figure out what fucking movie we're gonna fucking watch. God damn it! And then fucking 20 minutes in, she's asleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
And I can't say, let's just rewatch this again. Don't worry. And it's like, God damn it, I'm not gonna be able to watch this horror movie for another 3 years now.
Yeah, no.
I watch it for my
sucked out of it.
I have that problem with my
just
friend
watch her
Chris,
for myself,
right?
man. If she happens to chime in halfway through, I'm like, it's a plus. She sounds like, or at least is pretending like she's interested. And that's a step forward from what was yesterday, where it was.
Well, here's the weird thing. She watches American Horrors and she's into the channel. So when we're playing American Horrors, the channel, man, she's watching it, which really says something to me about modern films versus the older films. And modern films are set in a different. And
the fact that you just turn it on and it's like TV used to be back in the Disney, right? Because back when we were kids. You only had like 13 channels. HBO.
I'm so old that we only had 3, and then you had whatever you could tune in with that round antenna for the UHF.
Yeah, right.
And
right. So you were watching whatever was on, which meant that you would sometimes watch things that you didn't want to watch or didn't mean to watch, but you were like, "Holy shit, that was fucking awesome."
Those are gems. Yep.
Yeah. And then, of course, every time, I'm sure you were probably like me too. Like every time you got the TV guide, go through the entire guide and plan out like, okay, what horror movies are playing late night when, right? It's like, oh shit, this is playing.
My dad had a VCR.
I'm gonna watch.
My dad had a VCR.
The commercials, if you flick over to the other horror movie.
I did the exact same thing you're talking about, Brian. Only. My dad was one of the first guys that had like HBO or On TV or Spectrum TV. and he was one of the first people that I knew that had a VHS deck, and so I would get the guide from HBO or on TV.
I love the HBO guide. It was only this big.
Yeah.
And when they finally let Star Wars: A New Hope out on the HBO guide, it had its own page because they were showing it all the time.
Yeah, and my dad would tape everything for me. My old man would tape everything for me. It was really
And then
great.
the decision is, do I want to cram 3 movies on this tape in bad resolution, or 1 movie on this tape in good resolution?
I was greedy. I went with the 3.
LP and SLP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I love you guys. That's a language nobody else understands. Nobody else knows what SP, LP, SLP means.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. It's like there is a audience for VHS now, right? Like when I went, like I remember last time I went to the Alamo Draft House near me, they were selling like copies of Ms. 45.
No, I like it.
You can't find it anymore.
I like the low quality. I don't know. It's like
that's the thing. It's like
on the movie.
It
makes the movie more magical, and it mystifies the movie more instead of demystifying it sometimes.
Lucio Fulci's Zombie on a muddy VHS is very different experience from Lucio Fulci's Zombie in like 2K.
Well, because your brain is filling in all of the gross stuff that is only suggested on that grainy film. Nope. I work with a guy. I asked him about this. A Zombie is one of those movies where you go through the video store, regardless of, because this always happens. You have an idea about what you want to see, and as soon as you walk through the doors of Blockbuster back in the day, you went blank. Blank.
Yeah,
but that fucking movie pose, that VHS cardboard, that was all it took, man. The worm coming out of that ocular cavity, that's all it took. And it was never available.
Never. I remember it from Suncoast. You guys remember Suncoast?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Dude, I worked at a video store, man. Local Buffalo Outfit, Video Factory. It was awesome. I loved having all those movies available.
RoboCop on Laserdisc. Yep.
Laserdisc.
Player.
I was wanted one, but there's a lot of money. My dad wanted one too, but we could never get one.
Tell my brother.
There was a movie put out on Laserdisc when I was a kid. We went to visit my mom's friend he worked for GTE, technologically advanced. First time I ever got into an Atari 2600. They lived in a huge colonial house in Connecticut. It had horse stalls. And it was big, cool. huge picture window, and we had to go to bed early. We're like my brother and I, little kids, go to bed early, right? They stayed up to watch this movie. It was Airplane Before Airplane. It was called The Big Bus. If anybody remembers this thing, it was about a giant bus that went from coast to coast.
Super Bus. You're talking about
it was the big bus. It was Stockard Channing was in this thing. But it was about this big bus called the point is we were not supposed to watch this movie.
Right.
But because it was on one of the very first projection big TVs ever.
Nice.
And that TV was pointed right at the picture window of the house. And we were sleeping in the loft that was like up here. So we stayed up all night and watched this movie in the reflection of the picture window.
Okay.
And that's how the first time I ever saw that movie was backwards. But I could hear my parents laughing their ass off at it. I love that memory.
It's interesting how you talk about being on glass. And my roommates in college, the first acting gig I ever did was in their short college film called Spreading the Disease. And it's a black and white thing where I'm a vigilante and I'm killing the guys that sold drugs to my little brother.
That's dope.
And I kick a guy in the head. It's great.
Yeah.
And the way they transferred it was they shot it on 8mm film, and then they projected it onto glass, and they had a video camera on the other side, and they captured it that way.
That's brilliant.
That's incredible.
I love that shit. I love hearing stories like that.
That sounds like an early garage version of rear projection.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
There's a scene in this movie called A Silent Night, Bloody Night, where you see a flashback, and the flashback is shot in sepia, but also it has a texture, and you realize, oh shit, they were filming that film being projected onto like a canvas.
I see.
Right. That effect. That's
you get
the
that
thing.
woven, you get that woven
now you got all these
texture.
fucking filters and shit. But back then, it was all people had to rely on creativity. And that's one of the reasons why I always preferred low budget movies to big budget movies, was because they had more heart.
Yeah, creativity is so underrated in every area of industry.
Forces you to be more creative, right?
Yeah.
Well, sure, and most of it, in my particular case, is because I'm trying to avoid overtime. I want to work smarter, not harder.
100%.
There it is. Guys, check this out. Let's do the week in horror.
The threequel.
Let's do the week in horror, mofos. Real quick.
Thanks for laughing at that, man. I really appreciate it.
You cheap bastard. You cheap bastard.
You cheap bastard.
I'm trying to save the company money.
Check this out.
Sure.
28 days later sequel on the fucking way. Most likely directed by Danny Boyle. Definitely written by Alex Garland. He has already written the script.
Part 2 was so good. Much better than the first one, in my humble opinion. I love the Robert Carlyle and that fucking intro scene with the motherfucker helicopter.
The concept of how the whole thing starts. How the whole thing starts is what tips it in the net.
Well,
because you can't just go to like some regular, somebody got bit or whatever. They put the entire.
What's wrong with that movie is that it never matches that opening. That opening, it just absolutely
destroys the rest of the movie.
So it's like a Tyson punch, like the first round, ding, ding, boom.
Yeah,
and the movie can never live up to that, but it's superb.
That's the thing, though, man. Like with a story or comic or movie, if you nail that intro, it's hard. I mean, it's a bitch.
It's a different concept. I mean, when you're starting the first movie, and I can't believe I was like, oh, remember when we saw this, honey? It was the first movie that we ever went out to see. Let's all watch it as a family, and I completely forgot that. What's his face shows up just like totally naked, balls and dick out and everything. I'm like, oh my God, bad mistake, Dad. I'm a bad father. But the second movie, the catalyst is the relationship. That he uses the love and affection that these two people have for each other, and the woman is like, no, please don't do that. She can't help it. She's strapped down. She can't keep him. That right there is genius. On one hand, it's holy shit, stuff is firing off and whatever. And on the other hand, it's this slow, it's going to happen. You can't stop it. I'm going to make you watch.
Right. And then he tears her apart because there also is a rage that he has towards her because of how awful the memory of him abandoning her feels. That torment, right? That's how emotionally involved and engaging that movie is. That's good writing.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
layered.
That's what I mean. It's complex and it's different.
That's real horror.
Good writing.
One thing about that film that you guys got to remember is the director, Danny Boyle. That was a career resurrector. He'd been a wonderkin with his earlier films, and then he bottomed out with The Beach with Alex Garland. And the novel The Beach is fantastic.
I love The
Alex
Beach.
Garland's
What are you
a great
talking about?
novelist.
Man, The Beach was an
as
awesome
bad
movie.
as people say.
I didn't like The Beach movie, but I read the book first, and the book is far superior to the film. But getting back to Danny Boyle and 28 Days Later, he shot it all on DV. It was one of the first mini DV movies ever done for features. And
it had a completely different texture to it.
Yeah, and it has a different vibe. And they were able to guerrilla shoot in a way they couldn't. Like, they hired chicks to go out. And they shot the opening scene in London, and they had chicks go out, and they kept the truck drivers busy showing off their jumbly wumblies to keep those streets empty, to keep the traffic out. They didn't really. That's how they did it. And
that's how they cleared the streets.
Yeah,
how they cleared the streets of London with boobs.
In the morning, they kept the truck drivers from driving down the street with the boobs. And you guys were saying independent creativity. To me, that's the mark of independent creativity.
No, it is. It's
I can't believe. I mean, that was so,
man.
Long ago. That was like before social media. If that was today, there would be an OnlyFans channel for everyone. These are the tits that stopped London.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But check this out. I think this is just very, very encouraging news. Boyle says, I'd be very tempted to direct it. And because he's talking about the script that Alex Garland's written. And he says, it feels like a very good time, actually. It's funny. I hadn't thought about it until you just said it. And I remembered, bang, the script, which is again set in England, very much about England. Anyway, we'll see. Who knows? But this is the thing I find really interesting that he mentions. He says, it might come back into focus because one of the things that's happening in the business at the moment is it has to be a big reason for you to go to the cinema because there are less and less reasons. It's hard for companies distributing films and for cinema chains to show films. They're struggling to get people into the cinema right now, unless it's something like Top Gun or
you need a big event. The audience is okay. I learned this from Sean S. Cunningham. I paid to go to the airport and go to one of those lectures with Sean S. Cunningham, the creator of the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah.
House, all these great films. So I go to the airport, and the biggest takeaway I came from that was he said every movie lives or dies, every movie lives or dies on the promise of the poster. If you live up to the promise of the poster, you have a success. If you do not, you fail. And the studios have consistently dicked over audiences, lied to audiences, tried to indoctrinate audiences into some political fake bullshit. And they haven't lived up to the idea of it's the story. It's the characters, guys. People will come out for the characters.
They have to for their audience.
How the Terrifier be so successful?
Yeah.
Because they have,
they have
genuine contempt
great
for
posters.
their audience. You cannot put out the kind of shit that they put out without actually actively hating your fucking audience. Because you can't respect people if they're dumb enough to fucking eat that shit up.
That philosophy is what probably put Drew Struzan into retirement.
True.
It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. But
I'm just saying, man, a Drew Struzan poster tells you everything that's going to happen.
He's fucking awesome. I remember as a kid, he was my favorite. Like, I loved, like, that was the best, you know.
Oh, I know.
Still, I mean, you know, it's.
Dude, I had the DVD.
No plot details.
Thank God.
Nothing other than that. It looks like this is gonna happen, man. I hope so. And then we're going to end up going to the theater. All I have to say to my wife is, remember the first time we ever saw a movie in the theater? Well, this is happening now, and we have to go. And yes, we'll get steaks. Right.
That's why I didn't go to the Exorcist rehash.
I heard it was.
Sorry, guys. I don't need to see another girl in a dress doing the backflips and doing all the same crap you've done a million times before. No, thanks. I didn't need to go see that in the theater, you know.
No, show me something original. And on one hand, I don't know. Okay, I think that's one of the things that like made the Human Centipede more popular than it should have been. Just because, like, when I watch it and when I think about it, I'm like, this concept had to go through all the steps that it takes to make a movie, and the story had to go through a producer and a writer and all that stuff, so that you can have this, you know, this ass to mouth creature.
Well, yeah, but it's not cheaper. But that on your phone now. Right? That aside, because we're already.
Are you just amazed that it actually got made?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'm amazed that it actually got made. The production value is high. I didn't see the whole thing. I fast forwarded.
I've seen all three. It's a really good film. All three of them are freaking amazing. The director is a wild man. Every film is a little different. He didn't just rehash the concept.
But the first one was
worth a look hard.
The first one was an original concept. For as disgusting as it is, for as repulsive as the concept is, it's an original concept.
It's clever. Come on, guys, that's clever. That's really clever and hideous, and it's body horror. It's total body horror.
Well, exactly. But my point is, is that it's not a rehash of something old. No one ever saw anything like that before.
Kind of like It Follows.
Hashtag? No, not a hashtag. What is the best movie poster blurb of all time? In my opinion, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Who will survive and what will be left of them? Second best, Pieces. It's exactly what you think it is. Right?
No, Last House on the Left.
Good. Be afraid,
Keep telling yourself it's only a movie. It's only a movie. It's only a movie. It's only a movie.
Oh, it's a poltergeist. It knows what scares you.
That's up there. That's up there.
Alien's pretty good though. No one can hear you scream. In space, no one can.
No one can hear you scream in space.
Does anybody remember Crazy People? That comedy with Dudley Moore, and they had that
you can add agency.
Exactly. The freak. It won't just scare you; it will fuck you up for life. Lying around the block. People can't wait to go see it.
Yeah, boy.
We got to come up with something like that for the show.
I love it. Yeah, the horror movie stream. It won't just scare you; it will fuck you up for life.
Hart would know this.
You're gonna have a huge
I remember seeing an ad for the DVD release of Black Sun: The Nanking Massacre, and it had a picture of a Japanese soldier with a Chinese baby speared on a bayonet, which he had just cut out of like this woman's uterus, right?
Wow!
And in big letters, it said, "We will fuck you up."
That's tough.
I can't remember who that was. I don't. Was that Exhumed? Like who the?
Well, the tagline for Boneyard Press, the tagline for my comic company in the '90s was "Comics that want to hurt you."
I like that.
Black and white photo. Let me see if I got one here. It was a black and white photo of a kid starving in Africa.
Yeah,
and the baby's starving, and the top tag is "starving for a good read." And there's a guy handing him a Boneyard Press business card at the bottom.
You're still going to hell hard.
Comics that want to hurt you.
I mean, I'm going too. So I'll see you down there. But
here it is, guys.
Oh my God! Like, hold on, let me blow that shit up. Yeah, you're going to hell. Straight down. Like, how many times is like Matt? I'm sure you've heard me say like a million times. It's like there are certain horror films like that don't play nice, right? Classics being Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Terrifier. They're out to hurt you.
Yeah, they're cruel. It's cruel.
Yeah,
Cannibal Holocaust. Those kinds of
there's no trap doors.
But isn't
Martyrs
way though? Isn't Life
Martyrs from France, not the remake, the original version from France. Martyrs is absolutely hideous.
Oh my God.
Or a Serbian film. God. A Serbian film is definitely we're here to scar you.
That is a really, 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 really rough one, because it's like on the one hand, I want to dismiss it as torture porn. On the other, it's not. It's
hideous, but it's well acted, well directed, well written, and it's hideous.
A Serbian film, right? Like that's a great movie. Would I recommend that to certain people? Yes. Would I recommend it to everybody?
No.
I've heard so many.
I don't know if I'll ever watch
so many
it
things
I
about
saw it
that.
once.
No, I have no intention of ever watching that again. I'm never watching a Serbian film again. I'm never watching Cannibal Holocaust again. I'm never watching Sallow, the 120 Days of Sodom again. Been there, done that. Glad I saw him. Don't need to see that shit again.
I kind of feel that way about a lot of
I mean, there are those horror movies that grab you, and it's like they do something to the milk of your spine, and you're never the same afterward. The Reanimator was like that. For
Have
me
you guys
when I
seen
was a
like
kid.
Mark of the Devil 1 and 2? Those Witchfinder crazy.
The first one I saw with
my fucking God. Ooh.
Those are that. I haven't seen 2. Is 2 a direct sequel, or is that just?
It's a direct sequel, and it's oh man, whoa!
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first Mark of the Devil.
I have a question for everybody.
Yes,
is Sleepaway Camp one of these movies?
No.
Maybe a cunt hair.
Not till the very end.
At the very
not till the very end, and then you realize, oh, it's 2024. Nobody cares.
No, I mean, even then it was a surprise, but it wasn't a shock. It was just a surprise, the reveal at the end. Are we going to talk about the reveal?
Well, yeah, they did trickle it.
I was thinking tonight, it's just like,
we'll get in there.
Everybody, spoiler alert, okay? Now might be the time. If you don't want to hear any spoilers about the movie, just turn us off and go click on the link below in the description and then come back and listen to us, right? Talk about the movie. Yeah. However, if I'm not going to apologize for fucking spoiling shit. The shit has been out since 1983.
40 years old. Came out the year I was born.
You got adequate time to prepare yourself.
How did you first discover it? Like for me, it was in the pages of Fangoria magazine, and I remember seeing the notepad of I want to come home from summer camp and or sleepaway camp, and I thought it was really good. I really liked it. The article, and I like slasher films. I've liked them from the beginning, and 100%. I have to say that I couldn't wait to see it. And then when I saw it, it was kind of your standard slasher film. But at the end, when you find out that the little girl, and they show the full frontal nudity of this is a kid, that's a boy that's killing him, and you've got like showing the full frontal nudity. It's always interesting to me how male nudity is more shocking than female nudity.
Oh yeah. Like for instance, if you would show, like, remember in the 90s there was this boom in art house cinema, which was great, right? Because these are actually generally good movies, right? Some boring ones, but some great ones. But if you showed full frontal female nudity, you got an R rating. If you showed penis, NC-17. NC-17.
And before that, it was X.
Yes, and before that, it was X. Exactly. Yeah. No. Look, Americans are fucked up about the human body.
Like Bad Lieutenant.
You've been overseas, right? You've been to Germany and like Sweden and other countries that are very chill about sexuality and just are like cool about the body, right? You come back because you don't realize how fucked up Americans are until you go overseas and you see how fucking mellow Europeans are. In comparison,
it's kind of interesting how prudish American audiences can be because we've got Pornhub, we've got porn this, porn that everywhere, all this sexuality, all these nudity, all these things everywhere. Everybody's having sex. Everybody's having
but it's called in Europe. Do they separate porn from anything else, or is it just another genre?
No, they do. They totally do. I work in that industry. I worked in that industry as a graphic designer, and then later on as a director.
But it's not considered. It's not considered an anathema in Europe.
No, far from it.
Still is. I mean, like I worked with Max Hardcore, and Max Hardcore did these fisting videos, and that's part of what got him convicted and sent to jail was because that stuff was done for European audiences. It was legal in Europe. It was legal in Germany, but
I couldn't watch
it wasn't legal in America. Man. So the distributor sold it to some American people. And he got convicted for this stuff. It was really crazy.
No, look, I'm hard. I know he was a predator. I'm sorry, I'm ruined porn. Because I remember before it was like think about the porn from like the 80s, right? It's basically like people like they would do like satires like the Honeymooners or the Flintstones or something like that, right? And so So of course, Barney and Fred are doing some little mate swapping and everything, right? And you would say, right? And
come on, little buddy, let's fly. Or little buddy, you got a pretty big cock for a little fellow.
Hey, little buddy.
And it was
Bonnie,
like
run my ball.
And then you would watch these people dressed up in these costumes boink like bonobos, right? And it was all happy and fun and sun. And then fucking Max Hardcore comes in, and that shit was so popular that soon that's all they were making.
It would get really weird. And I think, too, like methamphetamine got involved in the business, and that's where a lot of the choking and spitting and slapping crap came in.
Man.
No, I don't want to choke my chick and slap her in the face while I'm fucking. No, thank you. No.
First of all, I'm not getting a hard on watching that shit, right? And what is porn for if not to like arouse you, right? That shit's not giving me a hard on, and there's no way I'm watching that shit with my girlfriend. That's for damn sure, right? I like porn that you can watch with your girlfriend.
Yeah, it's funny.
But
I think it really depends on the girlfriend, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Well,
it
here's
does.
the thing. She's gonna know, like, when we start fucking dating. It's like, I'll just let you know, I'm a fucking pervert. I'm monogamous as fuck. I've never cheated, never will. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm a fucking pervert.
You're like LTR, but also an FREAK.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck did you just say?
LTR is a long-term relationship, but also a freak.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay. Now I feel liberated. Now I feel liberated that we've gotten the big surprise in this movie away, because everybody, and in case you didn't catch it yet, the thing about this movie is that it has one of the most famous endings in horror.
One of the most famous reveals.
One of the most shocking.
The whole point is it's about being like a really shocking reveal. The point is, when you're doing the film and you reveal the killer, it's really important to have a good reveal. Like when you find out that it's Jason Voorhees' mom killing everybody in Friday the 13th Part 1. The reveal on that is fantastic. Or when you find out that Michael Myers is a monster that can't die. You know what I mean? Yes. And those things are a surprise.
Yes.
The reveal is so important for a horror movie. And the end is really important. And they nailed it with the reveal and the very, very end. And it's shocking to this. It's still shocking to this day. Yeah. And it still is like whoa, I didn't see that coming. I really didn't see that coming. And I don't know about the sequels. Have you guys seen the sequels?
I haven't seen any of them.
I've seen them all. I used to have the box set. And it was
are any of them worth seeing?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay.
The thing of interest is, I've noticed every time they shoot sequels back to back, they kind of aren't that great. And they shot Camp 2 and 3 back to back. And the thing of note is, the girl is now a counselor, or the boy, or the killer, whatever you want to call it, or
Alexandra,
the person, is now a camp counselor, and it's played by Bruce Springsteen's little sister.
Mm-hmm. And then they bring Felissa Rose, I think, back for a return to Sleepaway Camp, which also brings her back part of the cast and the original director. I haven't seen it, so I don't have no opinion on it, but I've heard is like dog shit. Mm. And one of the things that impresses me about this movie, especially when I was watching it again yesterday, was how goddamn well made it is. Mm-hmm. Like you asked me before, like, how did I learn about this movie? How did I see it? The way I saw it was, like I said, in the 80s, very much a horror snob, not into the slasher shit at all. I was into monsters, not maniacs with fucking gardening tools, right? Which means, of course, which means I slept on a lot of dope shit, like The Mutilator, right? But
a great film that I play on American Horrors. You can see for free. I might even schedule it on Friday night for everybody.
Hart, do you love that movie as much as I do? The Mutilator.
What's the theme song? Is fall break, da 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 da. We're gonna get killed.
No, it's the killer. The killer is because I know that they're making a sequel, and it's like if it's not that guy, you cannot do the fucking movie. And that has a dope ending too.
I'm sure. I was told that the film the sequel was made and actually got released.
Right. But it doesn't have that
original actors come back.
But not the killer. And that's, for me, that's the thing. It's got to be it's got to be that dude. But here's the thing. I have a friend, Chris. By the way, I know you're not. I know you're feeling under the weather. Much love to you, brother. He's a friend of mine. It's like a millennial, right? But is into the dope shit, right? When we first met, it was like, I heard him talking about Lucio Fulci. I'm like, how the fuck do you know who Lucio Fulci is? And next thing I knew, I found out he was one of us, right? And as a kid, had gone to like the video stores, and they were going out of business, the mom and pops, and so he was just buying the whole horror section, right? And watching every single movie. He is a slasher aficionado, and that's one of the things that's great about being a horror fan is everybody has their sort of area of expertise, right? For me, it's the Italian shit, right? But for him, it's slasher movies. So he could tell me like, you've never seen House on Sorority Lane? No. He's like,
play that on American Horrors.
Awesome. Right? Awesome movie.
The original one.
The original one. What was another one? The Mutilator, of course, which is trash, but it's just
The Redeemer
fun.
with a lot of Shakespeare in it.
Yes. Fucking love that movie.
The Redeemer. Then there's also
The Redeemer.
You mentioned the Mutilator. We have Slaughterhouse, which has had Klaus Kinski's in it, and it's an Italian film, and it's got the woman in the insane asylum. It's definitely pervy. We have that on the network. We play so many slasher films on there because I love the genre, and I like to find the rare ones. I really like to find the rare ones.
Is it just American horror? Like if I just put a Roku in this TV over here. So if I want to find
AMHOR, AMHOR to add us to your Roku today, totally free in the streaming app section. American Horror is completely free to add to your Roku in your Roku app store. You're going to have to go to the apps. You're going to have to search and look up American Horrors. You're going to have to spell the whole damn thing out because it's going to keep trying to give you American Horror Story. That's a whole other story. And it's free.
Dude, I said you could pimp your shit. This is like a lecture now.
I was only ever into the circus one. That season was down. I was done with that season. That was it.
But everybody,
one that I like
go check out Hart's channel. It is a fucking pisser. It's a pisser. You know,
I've been adding these really cool.
But there was Pops that turned me onto this thing. I mean, we tried to back that thing that Pops was doing, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm getting a Roku anyway."
And by the way, I'm wearing the hat because Pops didn't feel good today, so I'm sitting in.
I'm feeling better, Pops.
Older fellow with the hat shit.
I'm blessing
you,
Pops. There we go. All right. I was like,
throwing you the peace
This is
sign.
the great thing about the glove you wear for your digital drawing is you can do that poke thing real easy in dark light.
Getting back to the American Horrors, if you don't have a Roku, you could watch it at AmericanHorrors.net. The video player is right there, AmericanHorrors.net. That's great. And I do play pieces on the network, by the way. We do play pieces, and I play the VHS version.
Yeah, boy. Is it with the original end?
Is it with the VHS? Do you mean
like
you
got
make
on
it grading
VHS was missing the crotch crunch.
No, I've got it. I've got the crotch grab.
Yeah, because you need that. You need that.
You gotta have it.
The original video version. It ended like with a freeze frame when the body rolls out and it lands next to the kid. That's where it fucking ended.
Was it just me, or did they mess with the lighting on Tubi with the final shot? Because I remember on the Joe Bob Biggs version when I watched it.
Well, I know that there are different prints.
It was better. It was well lit.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There are different transfers, right? Like Shout Factory will release a disc. That'll be different from one that's released by Blue Underground, which will be different from one from Severin, you know, and so on and so forth.
I'll explain why. In the 70s and the 80s and the 60s, the Chicago distribution market, they could handle a more hardcore movie. New York could handle a more hardcore movie. So there are different prints of these films floating around through distribution because of that. And there were different video distributors that couldn't handle certain things in America, couldn't handle things in Mexico. And so they had to cut different things for different markets. So when you get your hands on a print and you license a print, it depends on where you got it from. And that's huge. And some theaters would actually go in and remove shit without even telling people. So if you saw something in Chicago, like one of my favorites is The Prowler. That's a favorite of mine.
Oh, yeah, boy. That's another one I would mention that I love.
And so the one I got to see in Chicago was far different than what they saw in, like, let's say, Cleveland, Ohio. You know?
And the bayoneting in the fucking shower, that's one of the gnarliest kills
ever. No, you're talking about the pitchfork.
That's gnarly, too. And
that's in the shower. If it's in the shower, it's the pitchfork in the gut, and he picks the girl up while she's screaming and yelling.
Oh, yeah, you know, no, you're right. But yeah,
bayonet,
when
that's the bedroom.
Bayonet, like
right
into the brain, like through his lower. He
gives him that World War I German helmet look.
Yeah.
Oh, so mean, dude. So mean. Yeah, I remember reading the Fangoria article about that and like the Savini effects, and that's a. But here's the thing. That's a mean and nasty movie. Do I love it? Yes. Is it trash? Yes. Same thing.
You guys seen Madman?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
The Legend of the Madman
Mars. Of course. Yeah. And mind you, trash, but I love it.
What
thing
about the Boogeyman?
Sleepaway Camp is that it's not trash. That it's actually really exceptionally well made, just from a filmmaking standpoint.
Did you guys notice at the end, the last reveal at the end was a dummy, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was a still.
No, it was an actor.
There was the girls. The girl's head was superimposed over someone else's body.
Her makeup, like a cast. It was a cast of her. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Yes. It was a young man wearing a mask. You'll notice the way it's lit and the way it's shot. It's different from what you see in the close-up. So it's not exactly seamless, but it pretty much is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're complaining about that,
real talk.
Like this is one of those movies. It's like you want to start out talking about it, but it's just like you almost immediately have to start with the ending.
There's one shot in there where, and I can't remember. I've seen him in other stuff. The guy that ran the entire camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find him in IMDb.
Becky Spilker. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I haven't.
I feel like I've seen him in Canadian stuff, but I'm not sure.
Right, like David Cronenberg movies and shit like that. Although
like Robert Earl Jones was in there. I remember him from The Sting. James Earl Jones's dad. He had that little big part.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of. Was it Frank Trent Saldana? I feel like I should see a face because I've seen him in other stuff. But anyways, the guy that
got boiled, man, that was some good effects in that scene, man.
Yeah, that was Owen. Owen Hughes. Yeah, that was Owen Hughes.
What's so creepy is that these guys are fucking watching this is like the kitchen crew, right?
Yeah.
They're cooking for the kids at the camp, and this dude on the right is like, yeah, look at that young tender flesh. And you think for a second, like, the dude's just being an asshole, right? That it's a joke, amongst his buddies, like, oh yeah, I'd hit that. It's like, oh man, you're gross, whatever. And then the camera really moves in, and he just makes that face, and you suddenly realize it's not a joke.
Yeah, you're like,
it's not a joke. He's not fucking around. This dude's like a piece of shit.
If your ice cream man makes that face, don't buy ice cream.
It was weird though, man.
Not.
I figured out the ending, dude. Like from in the middle, towards maybe like 2/3 in the movie, I figured out the ending.
Nice shorts, brother.
I'm telling you, man. This is one of the entire thing. It was nothing but like tight shorts.
He's a peachy folder. He's on the peachy folder, bro. He's on the peachy folder.
I'm just saying, like, which part of this movie is more horrifying? Is the tight shorts or the actual murders?
Here's the thing.
I'm still thinking about it.
We're in the era now where horror fandom and to a larger extent horror criticism has gotten woke, right?
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Right? And so you hear a lot of queer theory, which is a thing that goes back to like the 60s or the 70s. It's like a lot of literary criticism and like styles and approaches are being, and specifically Marxist critical theory is applied to movies these days, because that's all.
It's all garage sale psychotherapy.
You're trying to apply your modern thought process to these movies that were made 40, 50 years ago. It's like, God, you don't even understand what's going on. You got it all wrong. A lot of times I think the criticism is about making the reviewer the star and not the movie.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's about the movie. It's not about you insulting
it used to be like
inserting your crap.
No, it's
you're right.
With all due respect, it's beyond that. These people that are trying to attach some weird other sexuality to what's going on in these movies are just plain old hoping.
Yes,
they're trying to turn it. They're trying to turn it into something that they can drag into their weird ass bed, and that's all it is. We're gonna put some weird thing in this movie and try to convince everybody that they really just wanted to be gay so that I can feel better about being gay. Or whatever. Sorry, I don't want to derail your stream. And I don't want it to get taken down or whatever.
Look. Yeah. The thing is now you have people applying that kind of what was originally literary criticism, right? I studied this shit, English lit major, right? So I studied this shit, and you learn about the different schools of criticism, looking at like art through different lenses, right? And it can be interesting, right? But you know, a lot of it is like, for instance, like Marxist theory, a critical theory is accurate about a lot of shit, but then they apply it to everything.
Yeah,
right. So of course you're going to have the queer theory people doing the exact same thing. The thing is, the gay subtext in this movie isn't the subtext; it's kind of the text, right? Because the problem with, like, for instance, contemporary woke movies is that they take the subtext and they make it the text, right? But this is not shy. It gradually fucking reveals itself, right? As you learn more and more about the hero / heroine.
Well, dude, I mean, when she's having that dream, you know, where she's got like her two dads or uncle, you know what I mean? And then the two kids are both pointing at each other in the bed. I'm like, oh, there's a psychological thing. And I didn't expect, I figured it out, but it was different because I was like, oh, was she, because you don't know, like, at the beginning of the movie, you don't know, like, if her brother died, like, who, you just think that, you don't know which kids died. You just know that the father died. You see him floating by.
Yeah,
so
they leave the boat accident. They leave the boat accident as a riddle.
Exactly. Yes. So it's like, oh, okay, well, did she have to take on the role of the brother and the sister? You know what I mean? So that's how I figured it out. And then when they showed the scene of the two gay guys right there in the bed, you know, like, oh, okay, then that's probably a boy, you know, posing as a girl. And I totally forgot about the fucking the stepmother, the fucking weird stepmother, you know, in the beginning of the movie. I know, man. She's totally an actress, like acting in her fucking mind. Like, I don't mean, you know what I mean? Like, she's in her own fucking world. She's insane, right? A rich fucking crazy bitch. Right. Yeah, so,
like H.P. Lovecraft's mother, pretty much.
Exactly. So that's how I figured it out, man. I thought she was taking both the roles of the brother and the sister, you know, but that wasn't what it was.
Well, actually,
which makes the movie makes it even better of a movie, in my opinion. You know, because I figured it out, but that still wasn't what it was. I was still guessing.
So this is like some layered Cronenbergian shit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what made it good, I think, personally.
Yeah. Exactly. And here's the thing. So this is very well written. It's well acted. It is the fucking kills are brutal and they're smart. Right?
And the effects of like the dead body that like the you know, the one under the boat, you know, and just like the boils from the pedo, and like, you know, it just looks looks good.
There's a lot of good makeup in this.
Yeah, no, I mean the effects are fucking. And they're ingenious kills too, because it's operating on the I think Dardano Sacchetti, when he was talking about Deep Red and he was talking about the kills in that, right? Yeah. That he wanted to make them relatable, right? So it's like, you don't know what it's like necessarily to be stabbed with a knife, but you know what it's like to have your elbow like clip a chair table. Now imagine that happening to like the upper part of your teeth. Bang, bang, bang.
This movie was
we all know what hot water feels like.
It is. Right.
Yeah. All this movie was very believable.
Water, right? Yeah. Now imagine that over your entire body. You've been stung by a wasp before, haven't you?
Right.
Now imagine that.
I did notice
your entire body.
After that,
there's a kill like that in a movie called A Bell from Hell, which is a really rare, hard to find. I believe it's
the director died while he was making it.
It's really awesome. Yeah. Another great movie you could see on American Horrors. That's right.
Yes, excellent.
Oh!
Yeah. See.
Oh God, no!
I've never seen a pop that big.
I've seen one half that size.
I mean, he is cooking for like.
I have one half that size. I've just never seen one that big.
My mother-in-law has one. They make
right, sort of like chili and beer.
Yeah, that looks safe as hell, huh?
The POV shots are pretty good too.
That's, you know,
it's
how dirty that
the
table is.
Effective,
right there.
what do you call it?
That's what I'm saying. This is like really well made,
dude. And everything about this movie is realistic. I'm sorry.
Right?
I could point out so much shit in the characters and everything. Like the camp counselor, the young camp counselor going after the owner of the fucking. I seen that shit when I was in 6th grade camp.
That part where the camera just ducks down. That's great.
I was also trying to figure out how high up the camera was, like to know if it was a kid or if it was an adult. You know what I mean? Like coming in from.
And then eventually you see the killer's hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it could be right, and you realize, okay, now it's pared down to 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly masculine hand for a little girl.
And brown, too, because Felissa Rose and her cousin are Sicilian. This is a very New York State kind of movie, right? This was shot, actually.
And speaking of New York State movies, Tubi was
and I'm going to tell you about
the
80s. The 80s, and like you see all like the gay-looking outfits that the guys are wearing.
That's what they wore, though, right?
It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like that. That was just the 80s.
Yeah, people wear shorts. That's what they're called. They're called
guys.
shorts.
I'm embarrassed to say that when I was a kid in the 80s on the swim team, I walked around in we chopped off our cutoff shorts, so our balls barely stuck in the shorts.
No, I remember.
We sat wrong. It was mammal toe.
Mm-hmm.
It was mammal toe.
People wore shorts back then, you know.
Right?
Like, it's you know.
Dude, I was there.
And the socks pulled up the 80s.
Yeah.
I admit I did
when
that.
the high school gymnastics team did a demonstration for the elementary school.
Oh,
and the split happened. That
I was always a volleyball
right on the
fan.
mat.
I was a fan of women's volleyball. That's kind of my shit. I remember my friend Charles calling me up during the Olympics. He's like, "Korea's playing Sweden."
Fucker, you're gonna kill me. Get the hell over here and help me down.
I mean, they're so fucking original, right?
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. It's just like, I found the slasher movie so boring because it's just like, it's like, not here.
Come on, kid. Get me down, I'll make you a nice ice cream sundae, okay?
Yeah, she can have it.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hell, you little shit! When you get down from me, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off! Man! Help! Man! Man, get the hell out of here! Man!
Scream like a bitch!
Man!
So the first time I'm watching this, I'm thinking, okay, so now this is just going to maybe cut to like another scene or something.
Yeah, a minute.
Now
watch that motherfucker morph
to the effects artist, but also to this fucking actor.
Yeah.
He's it's like you could see the blisters.
The morphing. Yeah, the morphing, dude. Like,
but it's subtle.
Bubbles. Pizza. It's bubbly.
Yeah. He sells that shit, man. He sells that shit.
They give it a lot of attention too, like whenever they're taking him away, like, oh man, that's gotta suck. He's probably going out of his mind, and it's not just him screaming, it's not just the makeup, but it's also
when
they show up, right, and they're just like he's still screaming, and they're like, we've pumped him full of everything, like we've like dosed him with like as much like morphine as he could we possibly could without killing him.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the fucking question. If that ever happens to me, just fucking kill me. Okay? I give you permission. Bash my fucking skull in with a fucking rock. Whenever I see people that have been horribly burned in car crashes, I think, I'd be thinking if I was that person, I'd be mad as fuck as like at whoever fucking saved me.
Yeah, that is if I'm going to be physically disfigured to where I make everyone around me
bad, just fucking kill me.
I don't know.
If I'm going to be disfigured so badly that I make everyone around me uncomfortable just to look at me, Amazon is my best friend. and that's where I'll be doing my shopping from now on.
Yeah, seriously.
I actually knew a guy who is an amazing tattoo artist. I met him at Deluxe Tattoo in Chicago.
Yeah.
And his nickname was Greasy because his face had been burnt off as a child.
Oh,
and when you would talk to him, you would make a point to try to look him in the eye. You didn't really want, because one, you don't want to make him uncomfortable. And so you made a point to look him right in the eye. Right. And he was one of the most amazing tattoo artists I ever met.
Yeah, and that's going to be somebody who's got more courage than myself. Because I'm really pretty. I don't want to lose this.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, this whole notion too of the killer kids, because you guys could probably get a whole show out of just movies with killer kids, because it reminded me of Bloody Birthday. The Canadian film Bloody
all the way
Birthday.
back to fucking,
Children of the Corn for his dad.
Take it further back to Children, or Village of the Damned, or but Bloody Birthday is these three psychotic kids running around killing everybody. Again, on American Horrors for free. And also The Children, which has a score by Harry Manfredini from Friday the 13th fame.
Yes, it does.
Almost the whole thing. It sounds like it almost was wholesale lifted from Friday the 13th. And it's a really good film where the kids, they've got like acid in their hands and they'll melt you if they touch you. And it's a lot of fun.
I like that idea.
It's easy as fuck. It's not scary, but it is a lot of fun.
All right, I'm going to make a pair of shorts like that now.
The quarter T-shirt.
I'm going to get a pair of shorts, and I'm going to get a quarter T and let my gut hang out.
Right.
I'm telling you, fools were walking around like that. Okay?
I did. I fucking did, without the half crop top.
I was hot. I was hot, man. I had
the shorts almost came back.
This motherfucker's almost came back.
Those are high school.
Like, you know, when you see that, when you're in New York City and it's Pride Week in the summer, you see a million guys. If you've ever been there, have you ever seen that shit? You just see like a billion guys wearing fucking Daisy Dukes creeping up their asses.
They had to get their coolness from somewhere, and they got it from the heteros in the 80s.
Well, here's the thing. These guys were dressing this way.
That guy right there. Who is that guy?
To teenage girls. Teenage girls pretty much are attracted to the same things that gay men are attracted to. That's a lot of people don't understand that. Basically, young girls have the taste of gay men, or vice versa, or something. They just like the same shit, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that motherfucker gets fucking boiled.
I don't know if I like / agree with this philosophy, but
I don't know if I could back that one up there, buddy. Because I feel like in my time working in adult films and marketing the VHS and designing these boxes, the gay men take it further. They take it way further with the fetishes, little fetishes, or different fetishes. They take it way further than a young girl.
Hashtag.
We're talking like an 18-year-old. I don't even know what anything younger would be into. No thanks. Man. I'm fine.
I had a girlfriend who was would review smut. Was like a porn critic for like Screw magazine. Worked for like Al Goldstein, and so
Al Goldstein,
and she was bi, and she was into she liked gay porn, right? Like guy on guy shit, right? And so if she'd be reviewing a movie, and I'd come in the room, I'd be like, "Hey, baby, what's going on? What are we watching here?"
And she looks up to you and like, "Is this really what guys like?"
No. So like, you know, if it would be like, you know, like regular straight porn, but like, "What you doing, baby? What you doing?" Like, you know, get on the couch, maybe, you know, watch a movie, get a little something started. But then it would be times I come in and I'd be like, "Hey, what you watching?" And I look at the screen, it's fucking dudes going at it. It's like,
later.
Brian, since you brought this up, I'm going to tell you guys something really
Matt
horrible.
is totally riveted to your story. I thought he had actually locked up until you got to the punchline, and then he moved.
I'm telling you guys.
You're going to say.
When I worked in the business, you know, one of the things we had access to in the 90s was we got free VHS tapes. So I worked with all these distributors doing the box design, like designing the video boxes, the VH boxes, the clamshells, and then later on DVD and Blu-ray. But Blu-ray wasn't around back then when I was doing it. But so we got all these pornos, and one of the things they did is my dad started bugging me for free porn, and there was this thing with
God bless his heart.
Oh yeah, this is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So my dad.
Oh, you didn't pull a rope-a-dope on him. You didn't like.
Oh, it's bad. It's pretty bad. So, and the punchline's even better than it's. Let me finish. So, my father.
That's what he
said. In the late '80s, early '90s, where there was like a fetish for like hermaphrodites, and they would get these girls and they would like glue like this fake shitty looking cock on them and say they're hermaphrodites. They got a dick and a pussy. And there was always like a ring of fake fur around the base.
Hermaphrodites are like incredibly rare, so they would just create them with like prosthetics.
Yeah, they just created them, and my dad's like, "No, those are real, son." And I'm like, "Dad, no, they're fake. Dad, they're fake. No, they're real." So I'm like, "Okay, Pop, okay." So he wanted me to send him a bunch of porn. So what we did is we got a couple of regular porns, and in the middle of them, we put a porn in. I yanked the label off of it, and it was chicks with dicks kind of thing. It's a person that didn't make the transition. And they got the fake boobs, and I queued it up to get past the credit.
They ran out of money, is what they call it.
I queued it up, so
they ran out of money.
He didn't know what the title of the movie is or anything. I just queued it up right to the beginning when they come in a dress, and he thinks it's a girl. And I get this phone message on my answer machine like a week later after I sent it to him. What the fuck kind of shit did you send me? God damn it! What is this crap? So, like you said, I could picture my father like alone at night, and he's got his bottle of Vaseline or his hand lotion, and he's
boxing down around his ankle. Yeah. I'm just having a little private time.
Excited, and then he gets the reveal.
That's horrible.
Or have you ever been fooled by a tranny?
With himself.
That shit
I've never been fooled by because no one always gives them away.
What do you mean, like that? The crying game scene,
the shoulders, the shoulders, the hands, and the apple. Yeah.
Dude, when I saw the crying game, I remember there's the big surprise, and I swear to God, I was like, wait, that's the surprise?
The crying game / Ace Ventura moment.
Oh, yeah. Your gun is
I know there was a different moment I saw it.
I'll tell you guys, my father never asked for porn from me again.
Serves his bitch ass right.
That's funny.
Just to let him know that you care.
I mean,
just to let him know you care.
That's one way to put a lid on it, right?
Oh, God bless your heart. That is a fucking beautiful fucking story. Like I said, I appreciate shit like that. I just remember, like, my friends and I, we would get so bored. We would rent like family movies from Blockbuster and then tape like porn.
For real, the first experience, the very
and then
first...
put it back and return it.
Oh my God!
Thinking about whoever it was that was going to rent that copy of Pretty Woman, and then the love scene's coming up, and it's fucking Ron Jerry.
That happened to me.
It's so juvenile.
When I was in high school, I had borrowed a videotape from. It was at. You guys call it a VOTEC. When I was in school, it's called BOCES. It's basically vocational, right? So I go there for 3 hours a day for graphic design, and the guy that was the janitor was a former student. He was just working there. He knew everybody, and we got to know him and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, Faces of Death. I have that on videotape."
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, Faces of Death.
Faces of Death. I've heard about that, right? So I have Faces of Death. I put it in. I'm watching it, and it goes through the monkey brains chapter and the beheading thing and whatever. And right in the freaking middle of it, you see that VHS snow start from the top and go down to another movie.
Yeah,
penis right in the middle of the screen. What is going on? Of course, I can't turn myself away. Some woman comes up and she starts looking at it like she doesn't know what it is. And I'm like, well, what am I watching here? Like, how is this guy supposed to die? I'm pretty sure it's going to be the worst thing that I've ever seen. Long story short, he doesn't die.
Of course, all the death
because
that
it wasn't. Well, no, in fact, I mean, you know.
I think I've told the story on here before about how my brother and his dirtbag friends rented it, and I refused to watch it. I was like, "Fuck you guys! I'm going to go upstairs and like masturbate or something." Right? So I go upstairs, and
that's showing him, Brian.
Fuck you
guys! I'm jacking off.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
About a half an hour into the movie, I hear at my door,
"You guys,
hey Brian, yeah, what? We need you to come down here and like settle like something."
I'm busy.
Like, and I was like, right, like, yeah. I mean,
I'm in the middle of this.
And I'm like, okay, all right. So I go downstairs.
Brian's upside down. He's trying to suck his own cock.
Like, take that rope off from my brother. Downstairs for something.
My brother says we can't decide. Like, we're having an argument, dispute downstairs over whether or not this is real. So we know, like, you know, you like the crazy shit, you like the horror movies and the gore and all that shit. So can you come downstairs and like tell us if this is real or not? And I just fucking watched that shit and I just fucking laughed in their fucking faces. The faces of the guys that thought it was real. I was just like, you fell for that? That looks so fucking phony. God damn. You want to see real gore? Watch like brain surgery or some shit like that. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, my God.
That's the beauty of a grainy VHS tape.
Well, it leaves more to the imagination.
Sure.
Lucio Fulci's Zombie, for instance, it's. I'm not saying it makes it less scary. Maybe it does a little bit. For me, it's another way to watch one of my favorite movies. Right?
When it's super clean, guys. It's super clean, like the super HD transfer. Everything's perfect. But when you watch these old VHS tapes, you feel like you're watching something you shouldn't.
Yes.
You feel like you came across something like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yes.
HD ruins.
We have Lucifer Storm on here. We have Lucifer Storm, the guy who does Egging Demon Hunter, right?
No, I read promos for him, but actually he advertised on American Horrors. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're an independent filmmaker and you want to advertise on American Horrors, we have indie rates just for you, like Lucifer Storm.
Fuck you.
I love it.
You're like when we had him on,
you're like Crazy Eddie.
I was like,
I've got cars to sell. I've got cars to sell.
Keep pitching that shit, man.
In Chicago, it's rockabye your baby. Hi, I'm Harry Schmerler, your singing Ford dealer. I used to see that on Svengoolie all the time when I was little, when he was on WFLD Channel 32. Yeah. And that was one of the main commercials was, Harry Schmerler, your singing Ford dealer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, out here, we have a guy, the entire radio spot is one person saying, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford, Schultz. It's all these, just from the beginning to the end. That is it. I can't stand. I will never go to Schultz Ford to buy anything because it's like you're going to go in there and it's going to be that scene of becoming John Malkovich, where you're John Malkovich going through your own head, and all they're saying is John Malkovich, John Malkovich, John Malkovich. Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford, Schultz Ford Wexford. That's all they say.
Looks like this is from a con, huh? Looks like it's like that one.
Yeah, how would you like to be their mailman? Like, really, you know what I mean? Like, all right, what kind of mail are they getting? Like, all of the, who are they? What politician is sending them a campaign card?
So I
like that curling iron on the side is really a nice touch, though. That's a nice deep dive, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
Here's a question for you guys. Okay, so the shocking ending is the big reveal as you find out that it's a boy and you get full frontal nudity. Is there any other horror
I don't think the big reveal is all that
kind of reveal?
I don't think the big reveal. The big reveal isn't all that big, if I'm being honest.
It seems.
But you get what I mean. Like, is there another movie that apes it that has you reveal?
That's more
like
a
grower, dude. Seriously, like if it's cold out, I'm like a little nubbin. And I'm more than quadruple.
Nothing is worse. Nothing is worse than that dude that went for a swim in the Bass Pro Shops aquarium.
Well, I would say there was one movie
that was so bad. You can
there was one movie.
The very first thought I
have not heard about this. What are you guys talking about?
He's talking about the guy at the Bass Pro Shop that was
things.
swimming.
I'm talking about growers versus showers.
I don't know about that one.
Right? Where just like women think that they can tell how big a dude's dick is from looking at it when it's flaccid. And that's very much not the case.
The Seinfeld episode with George Costanza.
No, it was cold. It was cold, right? And then he tricks that chick, Orthodox Jew, into eating seafood omelet later on, I think. I don't even watch that show that much, but that one stuck with me.
That was funny. I will say though, to answer your question, Hart, that the movie Splice with the Guillermo del Toro production, I think with Adrian Brody. That movie just kept evolving and evolving.
That was good. I like that.
I mean,
I did not see that movie.
Hard recommend. Fucking, you have to watch it to the very end. It gets better. And better.
I'm just like, guys, that's bestiality. I'm out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the whole point of horror is to make you uncomfortable.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
I was really made me uncomfortable was one of the best movies of the 2000s so far, which is Let the Right One In. Right?
Yeah, that's really good.
That deals with the sexuality of children.
And I'd say especially the Swedish one.
Oh, well,
yeah, sure.
The other one doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. I haven't watched it. I have no intention to, right?
I've only seen the other one. I've seen
both.
I've only seen the remake.
Why would you remake that just to have it in fucking English, right? To me, that's just insane. So
they really
I didn't know about the other one.
Anything else with it?
It was shot for shot, and then had Richard Jenkins in it. He's a fucking
and wasn't it the same
actor.
director? Didn't they bring the same director over to direct the remake?
Probably. I think
they do that sometimes. Yeah. They do that sometimes. Yeah. And when they do that, I'm like, like Funny Games. With Funny Games, Michael Haneke.
Yeah, I never saw the new one. I saw the original.
Me neither. Well, I mean, why do you need to fucking remake the movie just to have it in fucking English? It's retarded.
Okay, Brian, you need to understand something. Why do they remake it? It's money. It's really simple because
I know.
Guys make money. They could.
I know. Well, there's that, and I've seen the last time I saw a movie. The last time I saw a good movie that was in a foreign language, it was that thing with it was like that French circus thing with the poison flea or whatever it was. It the guy that directed Alien 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I can't. You're either reading, you're either watching what's. Yeah, you're either watching
who did Amelie. And
he had what's his face?
French dude. And City of Lost Children.
That's it. Exactly.
That's a great one. I don't know. I like
it is a good movie, but your attention is split between watching it and reading what's going on, and watching it and reading what's going on. So I don't mind.
You need to get used to it. You need to get used to it. I will say that. And then you got people like my friend Chris, who is reading all day, and when he wants to watch a movie, he just wants to turn his brain off, right? And then you've got people like our home skillet, Preston. By the way, Preston, if you're listening, much love to you, brother.
I can't believe I missed him on this one.
He has dyslexia.
Right.
So it's like he's like, I watched Pan's Labyrinth. It took me 3 hours because he had to keep fucking pausing it, right? Dude,
that's terrible. That's
imagine what a
pain
in the ass that would be.
That poor bastard. That's rough.
Right?
That's rough, man.
Right?
Yeah. For that guy. That's really difficult.
It's one of those things you don't think about. It's
well, if memory serves,
and then you find out that that's like, oh fuck, that's right.
If memory serves, Tom Cruise was dyslexic, and a lot of his scripts he had to have his scripts read to him.
That's right.
That's like life is enough of a pain in the ass. Now you have problems reading. God damn it.
My late wife was Japanese, so we had to have the subtitles on for anything that was like British, that was Australian, that was New Zealand. So I got used to having the subtitles on. And
that must have been. Was that fun?
You learn the kanji?
No, she could read English. She had degrees in English literature.
Oh, okay.
And she was a translator, so she was a professional translator. And she just had a hard time with the accents, fucked her up, like Southern accents.
Yeah. It's like, for instance, like I grew up watching a lot of PBS. I grew up watching a lot of like Masterpiece Theater. I grew up watching Monty Python. I watched Doctor Who. I was
used to thespian acting,
right? But you watch something like The Office, or there's a friend of mine that comes from Leeds, right? Dude's Pakistani, But like in terms, like his parents are literally from Pakistan, and he's just like a brown-skinned a UK dude. Hello, governor. Right?
Hello.
He's like a British dude with a tan, right?
Well, yeah, like the mayor of London, I think, right?
Right. And so sometimes I'd be like, we'd be talking, and then he would say like something. I'll be like, huh? What?
Yeah.
What?
Slow down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Sure.
What was that?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys know Max Devill? Do you guys know Max Devill from Atrocity?
Yeah.
Okay, so Max Devill, he's always bugging me to get subtitles on my show Gorecast because it's two Irish guys from Limerick, Ireland. He's like, I can't understand the damn thing they're saying.
Yeah, it's hard, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it at all. He does.
But you learn the shit.
You learn it.
You get it.
Yeah.
Down
it's like
here
if you move there for fucking 6 months, you learn it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Down here in Pittsburgh, it's
been like decades since I've been to Germany.
I don't know if they have this in other cities, but down here in Pittsburgh, they have T-shirts where it's a list of words that you don't know what they are until it's defined, like Jeet, J-E-E-T.
I don't know what the fuck a Jeet is. I knew
Jeet.
No,
it's not. It's a question. It's are you hungry? That's all it is.
I remember like my southern friends telling me about finna, right? That word.
And I grew up with that in Chicago.
Right. Yeah, like finna. Finna, and it means
fixing to.
Fixing to.
Yeah, fixing to.
Which means
I
am intending on.
I'm fitting to blow it up in here.
I had an argument.
Everybody out of the bathroom. I'm fitting to blow it up.
And I remember hearing it like maybe for the first time, right? Because my friends would tell me about this. I was watching The Craftsman. If you've never seen his channel, it's fucking amazing. No. And he's just like I'm finna disappear. And I was like, that's finna. That's finna. Oh, okay.
I literally had an argument with a producer. One of my scripts got optioned by DreamWorks, and my producer on it, he was a black producer. Actually, no, this was Dimension Films. I think this was Dimension Films. And he was a black producer. And we got into it over the word finna because the screenplay involved black kids versus vampires. And he didn't believe me about the word. He's like, there's no word like that. And I'm like, brother, it's in the 50 Cent album. And this is like 20 years ago when he first burst with,
right.
Hit.
Right.
And then he believed me. Once he went and listened to it on the record, I'm like, I'm not making this up, dude. I grew up hearing this because my high school was 29% white. I grew up in a Mexican and black neighborhood. So I heard all this.
Right. But if you're hearing it for the first time, it could be, there.
Oh yeah,
or for instance,
sure.
Like, or Canadians, for instance, it's just like they sound just like Americans, except they say oot instead of out.
Oot. I'm going oot and about and a boot.
The boots.
I'm going out and about in a boat. Yeah, I mean when you say like if you're in New York and you're doing a plural you, it's yous. Or you guys, or something like that. When you're here, it's yins.
So anyway, one of the things I love about the internet is, they will if you're looking for like a kill or gore scene or something like that, or vicious murder that's in a movie, you can always count on some sick bastards out there just compiling all of those moments into a single video.
Yeah, I love the Mario style.
Actually, yeah. Oh yeah. And this, to me, this is a genuinely horrifying scene. One of the things that I found really interesting,
chicks driving,
all of like
I can't stand it when my wife is behind the wheel. When I'm in the passenger seat, I am horrified. Chicks driving is the worst.
All of the fucking slasher movies are about childhood trauma. Like every single one. They're all about childhood trauma. Yeah. Which is interesting because I'm actually reading a book right now about childhood trauma.
What's just childhood, man? It just sticks with you, dude. Good, bad, the ugly,
Well,
Charles
my girl
Manson
loves
had a terrible
she loves true crime, and we were watching the Iceman tapes from HBO.
Oh yeah,
Klukinski Hitman tapes.
Yeah,
and they're so chilling, and all his stuff is from childhood trauma.
Yep.
Yes.
All of it. And it's interesting because like the more time that goes on, the more I just look at the horror genre in general, the more I think that as a genre, it's kind of about childhood trauma.
Who is that?
Yeah, I mean, this is
or
so
traumatizing
inventive.
children.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, look at all the stuff with The Conjuring and all the haunted house movies and all the, all those kinds of Blumhouse films. They're all kids being traumatized by supernatural entities and being spooked. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if this person knew whether or not this guy had a nut allergy, could have done the same thing with peanut butter. That reminds me of that scene in Apocalypto, if you hadn't seen it, where Jaguar Paw wraps an entire beehive in one of those giant jungle leaves and just throws it at his pursuers.
Tosses it right into the midst of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, and one of them is allergic.
Right. Fuck. Where's the image that I'm looking for?
Hill Red Dress Press, Chris Evans.
Oh, Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. And this is pretty brutal, except for acting.
Don't walk away from the wall.
Well,
the wall.
Oof.
Glory wall.
Don't that bitch, man.
Wait, go back. I want to see that. I want to see that again. Smack in the head. There it is. Sound designers got that one right.
In this, you don't see the murder, but it's fucking mean. This is, I mean, I could like this is one of those moments where I'm like they're not actually, no, they're not gonna. Then you're like, yeah, no, they are. Put the pillow over the bitch's face, and she takes the hot curling iron, and you see it open, right? You see the shadow of it opening. And then you see that, right? So yeah, she's getting dildoed with the hot curling iron, right?
Oh, wow.
And you notice that she like opens
The Exterminator.
She opens like that little thing, that guard on the top for like some clit stim. I'm thinking.
Oh man.
And this is such a simple effect, but it's really effective. It's
I rewound this so many times to try to figure out where because it looks like there's a scene.
Yes. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part isn't the arrow going into his neck.
Coming out.
It's the point coming out the back. The way they do that is it's kind of like taped or strapped down, and then they just let it loose and just goes.
It's like spring load. Okay.
Yeah.
I swear, I was like I was working, I was pinstriping a fender at the same time. So I was like, I can't do this. I can't spend that. It was like, so how did they do the front part?
I think that's just a line. I think that's with a line.
So they just throw it.
I'm guessing. That's connected to like a wire
without bouncing off.
And you can see something on his. And once again,
I can.
That's
see
the thing with like the super high def shit is you'll notice little things that you wouldn't notice before.
It can't be.
Which is both cool and at the same time, once again, I'm the guy that always says every new edition of a movie should have every different version. You should be able to just pop a disc in and go, okay, do I want to watch the 4K, the 2K, the DVD, the VHS,
I
right?
agree.
The 35 millimeter print from some fucking New York City grindhouse. Put all of that shit on there,
right?
And just let us choose. I'm telling you. We're not far from that kind of a thing, man.
Yeah, no, it's like a.
It can't be.
Yeah. His timing is great.
He's a very good actor. That's why I like the chick that gets stabbed
on the
back.
IMDb,
He's not spelling that like that dude or the fucking pedo that got fucking boiled like a fucking lobster.
Are you okay?
Right. And this ending is also, it's tragic, right? Because you're looking at the relationship that this boy is trying to strike up with this girl, right? And she shows up, she won't talk, she's completely fucking silent, sullen, and he actually gets her to speak. And so it's like presented as this like really sweet teen romance story, right? Yeah. Where you know, it's like she says goodbye, and he's like, holy shit, she spoke to me. And you know, and then
you're going to misgender this person through the entire stream, aren't you?
And then and then they're, you know, it's like he's stealing kisses. Oh, dude, I get fucking. It is ma'am.
It's the whole plot of the movie, ladies and gentlemen at home. If anybody wants to get upset about misgendering in the film, that's the plot, that's the mystery, and that's the reveal at the end. So it's appropriate to the description of the film.
And they're all dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yes, Chris, every murder is mean, but some are meaner than others.
Yeah.
I got into a fight with one of my artists. His name was Duncan Rouleau. He's one of the creators of Ben 10. And Duncan was working on my book, Build a Bull. And there's a scene where he's fighting with a bunch of these guys are holding up his buddy's liquor store. And the bad guys are black. The liquor store is this salty Italian guy. And Build a Bull is Build a Bull. And they're shooting it out and they're killing each other. And then Bill says something really nasty racially to get the guy to freak out and move his head around from behind the hostage. And Duncan's like, Hart, I don't know if I could do this. What he's saying is really mean. And I went, Duncan, they're shooting each other with guns. They're shooting each other with guns and murdering each other. I think that's a lot meaner.
I know.
Yeah, you're right, Hart. You're right.
Shit,
I remember in the middle of the 90s, there was a guy that had killed like 3 or 4 people or something like that. And nobody was as upset about that as they were when he was convicted.
I don't know why my camera's doing this.
It's all good. It's cool. It adds ambiance.
Yeah.
By the way, really quick, let me hit the pause button on the stream. Matt, do you need to get going, or can you?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing the show tonight. I'm doing it tomorrow.
You need You need a head cleaner. It's what he needs is a head cleaner.
I need a head cleaner for my
clean that up.
Remember those?
Yeah, but this killer, he turns to the news cameras. He turns to the news camera and he flicks the news cameras off, and that's the thing that got everybody upset. Not the fact that he killed 3 or 4 people. The fact that he was like, I'm convicted. Okay, well, fuck you. Flicks the cameras off, and then everybody starts clutching their pearls.
I know, it's so stupid. Yeah. People are just fucked up like that. But this is just like the shot where it looks like where they're taking their clothes off. You know, she starts unbuttoning because he's been like he wants to at least get to second base is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. And but the relationship between them is very sweet. Right, the way you look, and then it's just like the sweetness, of course, is just to make the meanness meaner. It's like he's lying with his head like blissed out, like fucking Romeo with Juliet.
Yeah, and that makes all the
difference. Guys, I think I'm going to take this as a sign from the good Lord above. It's time for me to bow out and make my girlfriend dinner.
Okay, dude. Real quick, do you want to pimp your shit?
Okay. I see. That's my late mother there in the photo.
No.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hart D. Fisher from American Horrors, and to pimp my stuff, if you want to watch the American Horrors television channel, it is free to watch on Roku. Just add the app in your app store. We got all kinds of great horror films. I'm adding all kinds of good stuff all the time. We're big supporters of the Madness Network over at American Horrors. And also, I have a new book out. It's called An American Horror Story. And it's my true crime memoir about my girlfriend's murder and what happened to me on some of these talk shows like Sally, Jesse, Raphael. And also, I've got a book coming up called Poems for the Dead. It's my first collection of poetry. It's been out of print since 1991 9.
Nice.
It was originally published in 1995 and was sold in the Hot Topic stores in the mall. Haha!
What?
Down the Hot Topic.
What? That is a really unique bona fide.
It is.
Oh,
the
yeah,
other,
man,
the other book I know was the Crow. Was the Crow from Hot Topic?
Yeah, well, I've been friends with Jim O. I knew Jim O'Barr back then before they made the movie. David J. Scow was a friend of mine who wrote the Crow screenplay.
Oh, of course. Love that dude.
But I was really excited and happy to have Poems for the Dead and my other collection of poetry, Still Dead, both carried by Hot Topic in the malls. And so the hardcover is coming out from Psychotoxin Press and Boneyard Press. It's at the printer right now. And if people want to pre-order the hardcover limited signed edition, it is available at AmericanHorrors.net/shop, SHOP.
Nice.
And if you just want to watch the channel and you don't have a Roku, there's a web player on AmericanHorrors.net right there in the middle of the page. And
that's how I watch it.
Yeah, I watch it that way sometimes too. You could watch it on most of your phones.
AmericanHorrors.net/what for the book?
What'd you say?
AmericanHorrors.net/what for the book?
/shop. SHOP.
I gotta ask Hart. Can I pick up Build a Bull on there as well?
You probably want to contact me directly because I don't have the Build a Bull listed in the store because I've got so much. What do you call it? They're very rare. You know what I mean? So I don't feel good about putting it in the store if I've only got a couple copies.
Sell that shit on eBay. You're gonna sell that shit on eBay.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm getting pretty good prices. My stuff is kind of pricey. So the most affordable way to get my material is to go to AmericanHorrors.net/shop and look up the Boneyard Mystery Box.
Thanks, ID.
You're going to get 11 to 14 comics. Some of them are a little dinged up, but you're going to get it for $25. And cool. I sign everything. Some of the books are like mint because they were never resold. They're mine. I'm the publisher. They came from the printer to me. And so, if you want to get Still Dead, that's available on the store right out of the original packaging from 1998 from Brenner Printing. So
some outlaw comics. Some outlaw comics right there from American Horrors.
Most
definitely.
I
definitely recommend the Boneyard Mystery Box. And the other reason I recommend the Boneyard Mystery Box is because in every box, I'm doing an original pencil sketch.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yep.
Okay. I like that.
I'm getting back into drawing and I'm doing original sketches. And it's a lot of fun.
Dude, Hart, you gotta come on my show sometime, man.
It's the coolest thing that you can pack with your comic book, like sketch cards and that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That's the shit right there.
And I throw all kinds of cool stuff like posters from back in the day. Some people are going to get a Kill Image poster. Some people are going to get a Ginger Hill Attacks poster. Some people are going to get the Boneyard Press Welcome to the Nation, motherfucker poster. Cool stuff that I like to throw in there from my history because I don't know. I'm a fan. I'm a fan first.
Oh, dude,
I know what it's like to get that.
I was just about to say to our lovely audience, Hart's the real deal. This dude's like
there's a ton of products. I'm checking the site out right now. There's a ton of shit on here.
And if anybody wants to pick it up, I have the original spirit boards that Danzig, I hate to say it, but he gave them to me. And they're limited signed editions, 222, meaning 666, or whatever it added up to. And so they're signed by Glenn. There's a Misfits board, a Danzig board, and a Samhain board. And I got them directly.
Oh my God, what?
Yep, and they're for sale on there.
It's the very first. It's the very first option in the shop. Danzig.
That was my first Danzig band. Like that's when I first discovered Danzig was Samhain. Like the Misfits had broken up, like between the Misfits and Danzig, Samhain. So Samhain.
I did a lot of work for Glenn. I've known Glenn since the early '90s. I ran Verotic. I was a managing editor for a little while.
I forgot about that.
So
I edited music videos for Glenn. I edited Glenn's first short horror film, She Only Likes Men. And I also cut a bunch of videos for Doyle. And I cut some videos. I cut the Gorgeous Frankenstein rockumentary for Doyle.
Nice.
And also I did a music video for Obituary that was on Headbangers Ball.
That's
actually
dope.
I think that's on Tubi.
And not to sound
actually.
Gorgeous Frankenstein is the band that I did the Rocky. It's about 25, 30 minutes, and it's pretty cool, you know. And I worked with Glenn for a long time. He's a great guy. We got uncut music videos by Glenn on the network.
Oh, that's awesome.
We work with a lot of bands. I work with a ton of bands. I worked in that industry for a while. I've also produced a lot of film scores. My movie, The Garbage Man, we're working on getting a physical product of it out this year in 2024.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Henry, Portrait of the Serial Killer, you'll like this film.
Oh, really?
Man, I wish I'd done half the shit that you've done. Actually, I wish I'd done like a quarter of the shit that you've done.
Right?
You got an interesting life, my friend. You are always welcome to come on here if it's to hang out and just pimp your shit.
I've been having fun hanging out and talking horror. You know, I get tired of just like plug. And we've got a lot of great merchandise on the store too. The online store, and that's something that somebody can do to help us keep running independently is to buy a coffee cup, buy a mouse pad, get yourself a hoodie, get a t-shirt. And definitely, I would say check out.
Problems like keeping my head warm.
Well, I'm glad you got books on there too, man. Like people could come get your books on there. That's awesome. You know, and that's where like, you know, you love making comics and books and poetry. You know, I fucking like that you got that on your site. You know,
I never
Isn't that dope? I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of
jealous
of you, man. You're fucking.
Hey, I gotta ask you, man. You should come on my show sometime. Open the gates. Yeah, we could talk sometime. We do.
I'm in.
I normally do it at this time on Thursdays. But I'm not.
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up over on. Are you part of the Twitter message thread?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hit me up right there.
DMs,
I'm going to do more of this stuff. You know, I really enjoy it. It's great to get out and talk to people about this stuff. And I have had a really good career, and I like illuminating people. I like letting them know, like, the public doesn't know that I'm Billie Eilish's first director.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, they're keeping that a secret.
You're like James Bond or like Zelig or something like that. Have you do we just see you like throughout history? What the fuck?
I'm like Zelig. Well, you know, Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance started at Boneyard Press. I mentored him when he was 15. And John Cassaday, major art guy, started at Boneyard
famous
Press.
guy right now with the Wolverine and Beast cover everyone's drawing right now. I don't know if you know about that. Yeah. You know about that art? About that?
I know about that, and I look at that artwork, and I'm like, that doesn't look like John's stuff to me. I don't know what's the story behind that. It just doesn't look like John to me. And I've worked with John a long, long time. We did a lot of books together. He's a great guy. I had a lot of fun working with him. I'm very happy for his success and what he's been doing. Again, I'm happy when my people make it. That's kind of what it's about.
Yeah, man.
And the Billie Eilish thing is hilarious because she grew up next door to me.
That's crazy.
Oh, no shit.
Literally.
Damn.
So how
did she get put into that funky suit that she was wearing?
I don't know what
the one
about.
But the meat dress? No, that was Lady Gaga that had the meat dress.
No, it looks like it's a size.
It's a big suit. It's an oversized suit. It's more like a Art Deco kind of thing. You know,
it's like a modern. It's like a modern art statement. And I was wondering,
that's all it is.
Behind that.
Yes, it's art.
If the plebes can't handle it, fuck the plebes. If your unibrow gets in the way of you enjoying a weird, goofy fashion, hey, be high-handed. Go ahead. She doesn't want to be sexualized like everybody else.
Well, that was part of the thing, because I know that she didn't want to be, and that's one of the reasons why her outfits looked the way that they did. And then it seemed like she was going towards that direction, almost against her better judgment. And then to see that, it was like it seemed like an overcorrection, but at least it was in the right direction. Because I think she's correct. Like, she better to concentrate on the art, better to concentrate on the music, and not being objectified as a piece of meat.
She's really talented. You know, her and her brother are really talented, and her mom and dad, Maggie and Patrick, they moved in next door to me in Highland. I'll fucking say it. Highland Park. She moved in next door to me in Highland Park. And our neighborhood was really dangerous, gang territory. I've seen gunfights happen to me multiple times.
Pretty hood over there.
They were homeschooled. You know, her parents were actors, and so their parents kept a hawk eye on them. They really kept an eye on them. And her mother, I believe, was pregnant with Billy when they moved in. And so I've known Billy since she was a baby, and our houses were really close together. So if anybody wants to know why her stuff is so dark, She grew up next door to American Horror.
That's funny.
My asthma that surrounds your house just fucking infected hers.
I shot.
Yeah, what is it? The rain cloud that exists only over the Addams Family household. And
have you guys seen the Orphan Killer 2 Bound by Blood?
No.
Okay, have you seen the Orphan Killer 1?
No, I'm not.
All right, Orphan Killer 1 is great. Orphan Killer 2, I'm in it, and I fight the killer. I fight the monster, and he crushes my head with a brick in the front yard, right next door to Billy's house.
Oh shit!
Oh, no.
The Orphan Killer.
I shot horror
that
stuff
shit up on
fucking,
YouTube right
this
now.
This is 2011.
No, this is 2008 and 2009 when she acted for me. She's in the American Horror's opening credits. When you see the American Horror's TV series,
what's the name?
She's in the opening credits.
What?
Orphan Man.
The opening credits of American Horror's television
Orphan
show.
Killer.
Orphan Killer.
Okay.
Yeah, and
we're gonna have to come back to that at some point.
Yeah, definitely, because I'd love to talk about that because it's interesting the influence you can have on people without being super direct. And I had these giant Serwin Vega speakers that were like 16-inch subwoofers, and our houses were casement windows around the whole property. Both our houses were craftsman houses. Nice. So I heard everything that happened in their house. They heard everything that happened in mine. And believe me, my late wife, Wakako, who I founded American Horrors with, was a dyed-in-blue horror freak. And so we were watching all the giallos, all the Japanese horror, all that stuff.
Right.
And that somehow made it into Billie Eilish's music.
I have
like
no
osmosis that just leaked through the walls.
Just knowing that shit exists can really affect a kid's mind in like a really positive.
Well, you're hearing it. You hear this. You hear the stuff. And American Horrors, when we launched it, it was playing all day, all night in the office to monitor the channel and keep an eye on the channel. So it's on all day, all night. And me and Waka, we liked our shit loud because we're metalheads.
Yeah.
So this shit was turned up fucking loud. And so there's no way they couldn't have heard it.
Right.
Come on, you're hearing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All of them, and you're hearing all this horror stuff. That's what we watched every fucking day. Right. How could you not have an effect on somebody? How could you?
Not?
So osmosis.
I know it's totally true, dude. It's totally true. Fucking hell, man.
So on that note, guys, I
had a really good time. I had a really good time talking to you, man. You're a very unique cat.
Thanks, guys.
Always a good time with heart, man. Good seeing you again, brother.
I love the horror, and you guys keep doing a great job. And I'm looking forward to coming back on the show again sometime.
Anytime you like, dude. Standing in.
Dude, I'm aiming for next Thursday myself.
Hell
awesome. Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, be good,
brother. Peace out, man.
Feed that girl.
And she eats, brother. She eats. She likes food, but it's good. I work it off.
All right. I guess she's on top.
Kazam. So
cool.
Check this out. There's a lot of cool shit that they're releasing right now, like toys and shit. I now have the money to buy, but I can't do it like with like a clean conscience. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, totally. In other words, I'm just like, dude, really? Do you need more?
Do you have to do that? No.
Right. Well, I mean, because there's the occasional thing that, like, for instance, like the Hammer horror action figures.
Where are you seeing
that? I was not going to buy those. I had to.
Dude, Brian, right? I took a picture I was supposed to send you like a month ago. My LCS has like a whole line of Hammer stuff. Like I'm gonna drop it on Twitter, so
nice.
I gotta show you.
Nice. Let's check that shit out, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope the new Hammer isn't gonna be shit. I still haven't seen that
Eddie Lizard movie or Izzard movie.
Yeah. I still haven't seen that pop up anywhere. It could be maybe they're just gonna like put it under a rug or something like that, or maybe they'll release it later or something. But yeah, I was very, because when I first heard from the guy that was buying a Hammer, I thought to myself, everything he said was like the right shit. Like, we're bringing gothic horror back, bitches. Hammer's gonna be Hammer again. And I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, oh shit.
It's like, here you go. What do you think? Well, wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but.
Right. But I'll watch
what's
it.
The next, what's the next movie you got in the third movie? You know. Hopefully, you're
right. There's always a chance to redeem themselves. Okay, this is really fucking bizarre. This is a Leonardo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mashup toy. It's Leonardo.
They've been doing this for a while, Brian.
What was that?
They've been doing this for a while. They sell them at Target. They have all the Universal Monsters versions of the Ninja Turtles. I think either
That's insane.
They've been doing it for like 2 years now. Like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, damn, this is fucking dope. I was gonna buy some.
They're cool, right?
Cool as fuck. Like they got the Mummy and everything. Dracula. I think Casey Jones and April O'Neil had one too. I forgot.
Oh,
I think she was Bride of Frankenstein, dude. I think April was Bride of Frankenstein in one of them.
Oh my god.
And I think those ones though. It's weird because I think those ones were made by NECA. I think like that.
Yeah.
I don't think this one is. This one's just like a cunt hair, more highly detailed than the ones I've seen. So it's fucking. This is weird. So there's two different versions of Ninja Turtles toys that are inspired by monster movie monsters. I know it sounds kind of off, but
yeah. I'm following.
Yeah, and these ones look even more high def, though, like even more highly detailed is what I'm saying.
I like that he's got a bobber, a couple of hooks,
a
net and stuff. Like he's
he's down there.
If it's like his or he got it from somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
see,
all that little the fishing equipment on there.
See, I can't justify this. Right? It's like there's a difference between want and need. And when I see something like this, I'm like, want, not need. Want.
Well, it's like I tell my kid, right? Okay, like say like right now, I'm taking my kid to the toy store, right? Okay, I'm gonna come back in like let's wait a week. If you're still thinking about it in a week, then we're gonna come back. All right.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Brian, are you going back to the website in a week, Brian? Are you gonna go back there to the week? No, then you're not gonna buy it.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can't buy it, Brian, if you're not going back.
I mean, it's not a
fucking Mego Hammer horror figures.
It's like Captain Kronos or something. You're probably going to go back there in a week. If it's Solomon Kane, you're like, hey,
that's a really good way
that I possibly can. And the way I'm going to rationalize it to myself is I need to grab this now because if I want it a month or two from now, I'm going to have to buy that shit off of fucking eBay for fucking 50, 60 bucks.
Or you might not be able to get it.
You're talking
about if you want it, hey, if you want it, then you just fucking want it. You want to buy it.
I know.
You don't got to rationalize it. That's fucking. You want that fucking toy?
I know, but I'm paying. I'm paying so much for comic book art. I'm basically paying for like a Preston to buy like a house.
No, I hear you.
Oh man, so that's hard, man.
I gotta call back into the 1 week thing. The 1 week thing I'm talking about.
That's a really good way to teach your kids to get them to understand themselves, though. Like, what are you really into? And I mean, if I was gonna do something like that, it would be like, I don't have any room to set up all my slot racer stuff. Why am I buying slot racer stuff on eBay?
Well, it's like I told her it was her birthday, last week, and I'm like, okay, so you got this frog Build-A-Bear workshop. We're at Build-A-Bear workshop when I'm telling her this too, and then we go and she wants a Care Bear. I'm like, there's 200 Care Bears right here, the pink one that you want. So if they're gonna sell out, they're not gonna sell out. I'm telling you, they're gonna be here in a week. You know what I mean? Of the pink one, there's 200 of them on the shelf. I just counted them. You know what I mean? So So it's just that type of thing, dude. Like, and you got all these other toys too, and you haven't even had a chance to like have fun with these toys yet. That hasn't even like gotten into your brain that you just got these toys. You enjoy the toys you got, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
You could always just grab one of those 200 and let her see you stick it someplace in the store that's way out of the way. Like, there, I hit it for you. Now let's go get some ice cream.
That's good child psychology right there.
Yeah.
But check these out. These are like figures
with the old Halloween costumes on them.
Yeah, of the classic Halloween costumes.
It is genius.
Some of which, this one I actually owned, but my mom didn't like. She thought the mask was cool, but she thought the rest of the costume was silly. It's just like it's got a picture of the Ghoul Man on there, and it says creature. It should look like his scaly chest.
Yeah, his skin.
No, it is silly because it was silly.
I agree with your mother, man. That's there should be like plates,
What she did, and I still have this.
Okay, I think I know what she did.
she went and she sewed me a full body like
yeah. Dude, you know my mom did because I wanted
thought
to be
you were talking about you own one of these figures.
Yeah, I wanted to be the Tin Man for Halloween, right, from Wizard of Oz. So she got paper plates and she braided them together and spray painted them silver and shingled them down, you know, and maybe the hat. I was thinking about that, like that would have been cool with the Creature from the Black Lagoon if you shingled like paper plates. You know, the paper plates have the little ruffles at the end. You know, and then you spray paint them green. That would look pretty cool with that mask back in the day, you know.
Yeah,
with some gloves from Home Depot, some green ones.
When I was in school, his dad did the same thing with cardboard boxes.
Yeah,
and like blinkers and stuff like from a car, painted the whole thing silver. So it was a boxy robot, but his shit lit up and blinked and stuff. Yeah, and this is like third grade, so everybody was just, oh my god, that's awesome.
This is like little homies, but like kids from the suburbs, like during the 80s, but action figure style. You know what I mean? Of the actual costume. You know,
this was my childhood. This was my childhood. I remember what those masks smelled like.
Yeah.
Right? Because you'd be under there for a while. It gets hot.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Like you, Brian, ID, and Hart, all you guys got this fucking immaculate, like quick memory. You guys remember a lot of shit. What the fuck? You guys eat cod liver oil or
Brian,
something?
do you remember your mom trying to put a winter coat on you because it was cold that night and it was going to screw up your entire thing? Like, no. The costume has to be seen. I'll catch pneumonia. I'm not putting a winter coat. Yeah, it's raining and I don't care.
Word. Hardcore about that shit, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is one of the things that I love about the town where I moved. Halloween was awesome.
It looked nice. It looked very Halloween-y, just the town itself not being in Halloween. I could just imagine like leaves falling, like orange, leaves falling down the ground with the white.
And the people in the houses nearby go all fucking out on Halloween like it's fucking Christmas.
That's one of the great things about Halloween.
That has a giant put up a giant Jack Skellington.
Oh yeah,
this thing is like fucking like 25, 30 feet high.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and I'm not even a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas. So I was like, that's pretty fucking bitchin'.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool.
You've ever met those people that don't necessarily celebrate Halloween on religious grounds, and they have kids, and their kids don't go out and trick or treat or whatever?
Those poor kids, man.
On one hand, I understood it, but because like my brother was one of those, and I was trying to explain to him, like I was trying to explain to him, like, the thing that you don't understand until you get out there is that this is one of the only times where you and your kid go and meet every single person in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Well,
of the entire year. And it doesn't happen in Thanksgiving. It doesn't happen in Christmas unless you go caroling.
Yes.
But everybody's
community thing.
Exactly. Everybody's in on it. Yeah, everybody's in on it. Everybody's happy. Everybody's interacting, and that's really the most important thing. Because some of the costumes. I mean, for crying out loud, I had airbrushed skeletons onto skeleton bones, and the mask for my son, and one of them went out as Woody. They're not always like scary costumes and stuff, but we went to Pap's neighborhood. And everybody that knew my wife when she was growing up, and now she's got kids, and everybody's reconnecting, and it always bugged me about that, because it's one of those things where you're like, oh no, it's not Christian and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I get that, but on the other hand, it kind of is, because it's been appropriated by this. It's just
Christianity did not destroy paganism; it absorbed it.
No, I know exactly. I mean, that's why Christmas happens at Samhain.
Yes.
That's why Easter happens at Beltane.
The thing is too about Christianity is you got to be able to walk through the shit without swimming in it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you are in the world, but not of the world. And if you're going to be in it and not of it, what better way to influence people than to get in the slop?
That's cool that you could do that. Like in my neighborhood, we literally drive like the town over to go trick or treating, just because no one has any. Like, they don't have candy over here. Everyone has their lights off.
Nobody trick or treats in this little neighborhood either, because it is a 45-degree hill to walk up and down. Almost nobody trick or treats around here. We find some really flat. Gotta go flat.
You know what I really didn't like about my old neighborhood?
What's that?
It was a condo community, right? So the poor kids from
just throw candy off the balcony.
The neighborhood next door, right? They would bring their kids, or the kids would walk over to our community because, of course, it just makes sense. All the houses are connected. Bam, bam, bam. You're all about that hustle when you're a kid. Is you're filling that fucking bag up, right?
Efficiency, baby.
You're thinking tactics, right? And then people started complaining about that, right? Because they didn't like these little dark-skinned kids running around their neighborhood at nighttime. And then eventually they would bring in off-duty cops to keep them from coming in or to harass them as they were fucking walking through the neighborhood.
Well, on real talk, I remember seeing kids trick-or-treating. It was a different neighborhood. I was out in it was like living with the in-laws and whatever. That was its own nightmare. But there were kids in the neighborhood that wouldn't dress up. They just showed up at the house. I was like, no. You got to make some kind of effort. Go back.
Oh no.
Back home and put on.
He's not wearing a costume. He's not getting candy. He's getting a lecture.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Yeah. This isn't Halloween. This is begging. Go back and put some on.
Fuck you for not fucking recognizing.
I don't care if it's that Charlie Brown pillowcase with all the eye holes in it. Go do something.
I saw the kid. His costume was cobbled together from bits of other costumes. So we'd have like a Frankenstein a headpiece.
Yeah, that's like my prom outfit. Pants from one buddy, a coat from another buddy.
He tried. Right? You need a fucking effort.
Yeah, right? Exactly. 100%. It's all you gotta do. Yeah, don't show up here with just your face.
Right. I mean, that's the one time, 2 times of the year that I'm very, very jealous of parents of small children is Christmas and Halloween, man.
All they're fun times, dude. Like right now, I got I'm in a new profession, so I used to hate the fucking holidays. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I might have. Right. But now, and as a kid, I loved the holidays. I really got into the holidays, man. I really got into Halloween. I loved Sleepy Hollow. I was obsessed with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow as a kid, the cartoon. I had books of it, illustrated children's books of it. Thanksgiving. I loved Thanksgiving. I loved learning about the Pilgrims and the Native Americans or the Indians, however the fuck you want to say it politically correct. Christmas. I loved Christmas. I just loved every holiday, you know.
If you're Canadian, it's called First Nation.
I got into retail and I fucking just started hating holidays. I didn't want anything.
Oh no.
And now the last year I'm back in the holidays.
Oh no!
I love them again.
It's through your children, isn't it? It's through your children. All that.
I mean, well, it's always no, man. No, it's not.
Because a lot of people say it's just like it brings them back.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's because I wasn't able to have. I mean, I would love being with my family and my kids, but I was still mad. I wasn't happy. And so like
did you work in the mall?
No, I worked at a grocery store, man. Like I'm always slinging turkeys and rib roasts and fucking, fish and 7 fishes and 7 feasts of 7 fishes and all that bullshit. And it's like shucking oysters and fucking doing all kinds of shit.
Okay.
So, just dealing with people and orders and just, every month there's a holiday. So every single month of the year there's a holiday and there's 13 months in a fucking fiscal year, right? So
fuck me, yeah.
After 16 years of that, I just fuck holidays. This shit's all fucking made up for the man. Like they're just trying to extract money, you know. And so now I kind of have to deal with that. And I love my family and love being with them, dude. And I would carve out, moments of those things, but I wasn't into it like I used to or really wanted to be. And now I am. And I'm loving it. It's fucking jolly. That word. And now I can really with my kids and I could be full in it, realistically, dude, it's fucking dope. Dude.
Yeah.
Holidays used to get me down too. When you're doing airbrush T-shirts in the mall around Christmas, and it's just cranking out one after the next. You're making money, but it's all just like this is crap, right? This is absolute crap, don't you? Oh man, they would stress out about this stuff all the time. Like
I don't know about crap. I've seen your airbrushes, man. They're fucking.
Well, no, but I mean like when it's like fast food T-shirt crap or like a license plate, and they're like, I want it to match the paint on my car. I'm like, there's no way that's gonna happen.
I can't imagine ID down there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we used to go mobile and do like bar mitzvahs and stuff, and it was even a much lower class version. It was like boxer shorts, towels, whatever. And these kids would just like, that's all they cared about. I'm like, you're gonna forget about this in 2 weeks. Everybody knows that. Just I couldn't do it anymore. It was so bad. It made me not want. It made me hate kids.
Yeah, no, it will. You know, like it'll happen.
Oh, man. Pre-nagers, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right. There is something out here I want to show you.
What should we watch next week? You guys think?
An American Werewolf in London. Like, because it's one of the best horror movies of all time. It's free on Tubi. Like,
true.
I think the thing is, I would like to line up a lot of movies, but these movies come and go really quick. So like,
I know.
We gotta
does Tubi have a pretty fast turnover rate?
Yeah, dude. Like you have to kind of jump on them when they got them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you can't plan out like a whole month all the time because they kind of come in. I mean, you probably could, but it's still pushing it because they come in real quick and they fucking bounce real quick.
Right.
So that's how like me and Brian kind of you know do it. Like,
like sometimes we're like, oh shit, that's back on. We got to do that while that's there. Yeah. Okay. American Werewolf in London for sure.
Tubi was suggesting The Burning, and I had never seen that. Had you seen that?
No.
Yes. It's an Australian slasher that I remember was the very
Australian slasher.
The Burning?
The
Burning.
It got an American theatrical release, and on the same day it was released on VHS, and they ran commercials for it.
Are we talking about the same movie? Because the one I'm thinking of was actually filmed in Western New York, like right around where I grew up.
The Burning?
The Burning, yeah.
If there's one, no, this is a Tom Savini.
Okay.
Where you're just like, I'll have to look into it again, like to see.
There might be another movie with that title. I mean, there's 20 movies with the title Heat.
Is it the one with the scissors?
Okay.
No.
Okay,
no, it's a slasher.
It's a different one.
You know, movies I'd like to do sometime too, like later on, the Wolf Creek movies. Like I'd like to do Wolf Creek 1 and then Wolf Creek 2.
Okay.
But later on, dude, I want to watch the TV show. It's got Longmire in it because he's from Australia. You know, I don't know if you guys ever watched Longmire.
Well, he's the main thing.
I did. I think I'd seen. He reminded me of like he was like a Just for Men model.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he reminds me of like Batman from Dark Knight Returns. Just in the TV show. But
I thought you'd like to see this talking about the legend of Sleepy Hollow. See if I can get in on this any further.
Is that you? Is that you right there? That's your work?
I'm not on the bike. I painted this on the back of a trike.
That's beautiful, man.
That's awesome.
But you see, like it's basically the headless horseman, but he's on the trike that I have the painting on the back.
Dude, you ever think about like maybe painting a book like later on? I know you're not doing that, but like
no, I'm drawing a comic book.
But you ever think about doing a painted comic book, like maybe even drawing it and painting over it? Your fucking paints are immaculate, bro.
Not with. I've been working on where am I at here? I've been working on this thing for a year, and I'm only on page 14.
Okay.
So it's like it's because it really what it comes down to is I think I figured out my problem, and it's this. I'll get bored with something, and my form of procrastination is to get into something else.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And to just pick up another project.
You got to buckle down a little more then and just kind of get
and that's what I've been. Well, Brian and I were talking about this at length a couple of weeks ago afterwards because I was having an issue with lettering and the way that this character speaks. His vocal inflection changes, and I'm trying to figure out a way to display that through the words or the word balloons or whatever, and it's getting really crazy and stuff. And he's like, "You just need to hire a professional." I'm like, "I think you're right."
Yeah.
I know you're right. Somebody else.
The most important thing is forward momentum. Finish the fucking book.
Yeah,
don't fucking obsess over like each page as you're making the book.
Yeah.
Finish the damn book.
Yeah,
and then you can go back and change it.
Yeah,
and the lettering, it's something you could talk to the letterer about with it, and if he or she is not jiving with your vision, you can go find another letterer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this thing already has a lot of moving parts. It's got characters and cars. And,
oh hell yeah, dude! That's what's up.
So, right. So, like, I don't know if you can tell it between this first frame and the second frame. One person is walking into the storage room, and then the same people are walking out from the door. They're walking in from the door that's closed in the first panel.
I see.
And that comes into play like later in the story because somebody asks her, "Did you see the girl in the shop?" And she's like, "I was in the storage room. I didn't see her talk to anybody." And it's like vital. It's one of those things, and that's one of those where like I hope I'm displaying this the right way,
Dave.
And it's
just keep doing it, Dave. And you'll put you'll eventually get the lettering in there, and
dude, I'm like,
and then you'll go in and tweak shit. You know what I mean? And it'll be fine.
And then we help you promote.
And then we'll promote the fuck out of it.
We help you build your campaign and all that shit.
This thing. I had to put this together so that I have reference material for the car that's going on the rack.
Nice.
Because it shows up in later issues.
That's
and
good,
like
man.
The lengths of because you know how hard it is to find a specific 1932.
Oh, dude.
Right.
References for just things and angles it's so hard. Like I can never find the exact reference for most of the stuff I want. There has to be some type of me taking a Frankensteinian approach to things that I'm looking for, but then also ad-libbing or even posing or modeling. It's hard, but it's
way harder than I thought. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm like, man, and then I'm trying to refine my approach to it, and it's every day. Like I was saying before, when you're doing it all the time, the drawing becomes muscle memory, and that frees your mind up to do the creative. Like this needs to happen. Your panels become something different because you're not concentrating.
You remember a lot of shit. Like that's for me. It's like they're like, oh, go draw, go study Bridgman, just draw every day. Just try. Hey, fuck you, shut up. Like that's what my brain sounds like. Everybody says that. Everybody says that.
What I mean is,
you know what I mean. But that's what you got to do.
When you do the drawing,
like now I'm starting to remember
drawing all the time. Like with airbrush and pinstripe, and same thing with penciling. When you're drawing all the time, you're not using the tool anymore as much as you are riding it. And because it seems to be happening on its own, now your brain is free to think of this is going to be the cool thing that happens next, or this is the shot that works, and it frees up hard drive space because your body is doing that.
It's the work. You have to put in the work. That's what it is. And I get tired of people saying that, and it's 100% true. And for me, from my personal experience, is putting in like drawing sequential art after so long. That's like putting in the work. I haven't put in that much work, but I put in like a few hundred pages.
But you're doing it. You're doing it.
But I'm noticing my brain remembering shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm not like,
this is where the leveling up happens.
Like little artistic text, artistic ticks, little things that little things in the rendering and anatomy, little things in veins and shit like that. Like,
dude,
I'm not even
all that stuff. Like whether you're doing it
traditionally, bro. I'm watching your that's what I fucking love about knowing people like you and Sim and Preston is watching your shit get better. Right, watching you guys level up.
Thanks,
and
man.
It's a gradual process. It's not like when you take a look at like that book of that collection of Rockabilly Road Trip that Preston put out, where it was like years between books, and you're just like, and it's just like a stark difference. It's like I'm watching it happen like gradually.
Yeah, I didn't think I would ever
get from the front of the book to the back of the book and have like really good art at the back, and
it's going to happen. It's going to happen too. It's going to happen too.
To do though is fucking finish the goddamn thing.
Finish the goddamn
thing. I know. I can't not do it.
Another thing people don't talk about, dude, is like
all of the art that I got.
We work jobs, like we're not in the bullpen. We're not in the bullpen like a lot of people. So we have to just keep putting out a lot of product that's gonna be, and it's gonna get better and better. And then we have to get people to review us.
Yeah.
Because again, like Kirby and a lot of those dudes, they were working on it all the time, and they were a lot younger when they started. You know what I mean? So we're not. So we have to produce a lot, and we need people to review us. That way we can level up and we can get better. So what's the difference? We have to know those things. We have to do a lot of. We have to do it. We have to produce a lot of books, and our first couple books are probably not going to be that like pristine or that great, or the private might be a little shit.
It's not just
they don't have to be, but they'll get better.
The big argument about it.
Yeah. And you're not going to get to that place unless you fucking start. You have to learn how to
grind it out.
Before you learn how to walk.
Well, the big debate that I've been listening to or reading about critique and who can take it and who can't.
Yeah.
When I know somebody's going to end up critiquing this book, and I hope that they do. And one of the things that I'm going to be paying attention to is the critique that I'm getting from this person matching up with the critique that I'm giving myself, because you're always harder on yourself.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Dave. I don't think
so. No. I mean, at some point there's going to be like, yeah, I said that about my work. And then there's going to be the critique that I didn't see coming from. And that's the part where there's going to be the, yeah, I know. And then there's the, oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there will be that.
You know what I mean? But you still have to be a fucking man about it.
About your own work that people are going to find.
Yeah, you have to be a grown up about it. But
this
is usually shit that we end up talking about after the stream is over.
I know. We should go.
I don't know how that happened, but I'm sure it was my fault.
No, I want to go get something to eat real quick.
Yeah,
and
I have to too. I mean, I get
Dead by Daylight and fucking murk some fucking fools as like Pinhead or fucking Leatherface or. Dude, the Chucky DLC for Dead by Daylight's the shit, dude. It's third person, and you can like scamper around and jump on people's shoulders and fucking bum rush them.
Dude, did they got Leprechaun on there? Like,
what was that?
I think Leprechaun would be in order. Like, they need to put Leprechaun
right?
in there. Like, it's just so. Yeah, it's time. It's time. I mean, everyone's fucking all about Chucky, but
no, I mean,
Leprechaun's old enough now. We could have some Leprechaun dropping some charms and,
Yeah, I mean, to me, the cool thing is that they have Brad Dourif doing the fucking voice acting. So he's like fucking like cursing at you and insulting you as he's fucking attacking you, right? And
what are you playing on?
For like Pinhead, they brought Doug Bradley in to do the voice work for that too.
Is Ash in there too, or is Bruce Campbell in there too?
Yes, Bruce Campbell.
I have a weird feeling he's going to come back as Ash before he dies and do it one more time. I don't know. Something in me, he's just kind of like, I don't know. He's like, no. But I have
right.
I have a feeling he's going to come back before he dies and do like one more. He's going to do his Logan, his fucking Rambo.
I get it though. Why he would want to be playing that character forever. I understand. At the same time, it's just it's just like
Well, dude,
Brian, what are you playing on, Brian? Are you playing on a PS5, a Steam?
Steam
it up.
Okay, and it says coming in 2024, and is it out now or?
Oh, it's been out since like 2017. It's an old game. It's like from 2017, but it's one of those games too. It's like it's great to get into it when it's been out for a few years because all the bugs have been fixed and they've added.
Shit. You know what? That's my mistake. No, that's my mistake. I clicked on a link about something. I clicked on a link about the casting of Frank Stone, and that's supposed to be coming out. I know. All right, I see what you're talking about. You're playing on Steam.
Yes.
I'll have to look for that.
Yes.
If my Steam on my Mac is going to work.
So American Werewolf in London next week, right?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Where can fucking find you?
idcrisis.com is the idcrisisdesign.com is the website. Identity Crisis or ID Crisis on any social media. #AsphaltComic.
And Matt, tell these people where they can find you.
You guys can find me on YouTube at Metal Movies and Brewskis, where I do live streams and a show called Open the Gates. And you guys can also find me on Twitter at Runecutter Comics. If you guys want to commission, probably gonna have one open for this month. Haven't really talked about it yet, but yeah. And thanks again, Brian. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, dude. Always
Namaste.
A pleasure. Congratulations on that Spawn piece, man. Fucking sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Everybody, you can find me on the Twatters. You can find me on the YouTubes. You can find me on the Facebooks and all that stuff. Just Brian Christgau, and my name will come up. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And until we see you again next week, next week's movie is American Werewolf in London, yeah. For sure. Until then, peace, love, and magic.